All right, everybody. Hello. We had a very small crew last month for the Q&A for $20 and up patrons. We've got like pretty much most of the allies with us here today. Everybody's ready to answer a lot of questions. We got quite a banger of a question to start off with. Yeah. It's a strange one, but in a good way. Thank you guys for joining me. We got Brad here with us. We got Blood, Brandon, Ian, Kyle, Damiani, Michael Huber, and myself. I'll be hosting this thing, Ben Moore. And let's get started with our first question here. As always, I think every month, this has to be like at least a 6-month record. We've got the first question in from Alexander, and he says, "Greetings from Russia. This is my final question in the Island series. Are you ready? While hunting, while others spend their days unsuccessfully trying to escape this island that we're on, Ben uses his time to learn how to make a hunting spear. One day he meets an animal who tells him that the only way to escape this island is to kill everyone else.
Whoa.
So if anybody wants to get off, you got to kill everybody. When Ben relays this information to the others, you decide to live on this island forever in peace. But as the time moves on, your desire to play new games becomes stronger and stronger. My question to everyone on the panel: how has Kyle managed to become the last survivor without killing everyone?"
I feel like Alexander is ignoring our answers. Like half of us aren't even on the island anymore at this point.
Sure, yeah.
Yeah, I'm lost.
To be honest with you, I can't remember all of your answers from the Island series. So,
I think like I found a portal. I think Damiani got a boat. I don't really remember honestly either.
I think I'm dead.
the easy way out.
Yeah.
Wait, why? Huber, really?
Didn't someone kill me?
Oh, no, you're okay. You're good.
No? I thought I was like the first one to die. Maybe that was a different question.
No, I mean, apparently the scenario is now that everyone else is dead and Kyle is alive, and we need to figure out why that happened.
But Kyle, hypothetically, saying this is all true,
Okay.
how did you become the last survivor?
I have the strongest will to live of the Easy Allies.
Yeah.
Okay.
Kyle found a vault with food in it and didn't tell anyone about it.
Yeah, that peanut butter did.
Yeah, that's what made it.
Hoarded all the bananas.
I could see Kyle finding like a escape hatch and just like not telling anyone.
Yeah, eating like a can
Just
of
leaving.
beans by himself in the dark.
I mean, for real, like let's say you did find a little hatch that has like 5 days of food in there.
Yeah.
Why would you tell Easy Allies? You're just going to eat all my food.
That's why
Because you love us, Kyle. That's what love is.
You ate just enough so it wouldn't look like you were hungry or starving at the same time. And just
So
kind of
Kyle-
ground.
Yeah.
Let me get this right. Let's say you find 5 days of food, okay?
Yes. Yep.
And 3 days go by, and you see Huber shriveling to bone. You're just gonna sit there.
That's
full,
why he's the last one.
Yeah.
and that's all.
I
Let
think
Huber
so.
shrivel and die.
Yeah, like it's like so a plane's crashing, right? It's more important for you to get your own air mask on before your child's mask on because one of you has to live to save anybody, you know? If you try the child first, you both die. And so
But the ultimate answer is everyone dies but you, Kyle.
yeah.
I would trust Kyle to like go get help. Kyle would come back.
Yeah.
No,
well,
he would not.
Well, at least find your bones. Yeah, I'll like to say where the island was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What if
He won't
Kyle,
come back.
What if
He'll
Kyle
tell
leaves
him
the
what-
island and then continues Easy Allies as if nothing happened and ignored all questions about the rest of us?
5
everyone's-
replacements for each person. Yeah.
Yeah,
Everyone's just
doppelgangers.
final boss man.
Poor Huber trusts Kyle even after all we've been through.
Yeah.
He's
Wow.
still-
That's why Huber's the first to die.
That's why Huber's the first to die. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Moving on. Next question is from Michael. He says, "Hello, Easy Allies. I know you are going to present your schedule, but I'm curious now that the schedule for E3 press conferences on this upcoming month is released. I was wondering, how are you going to stream? If you stream 1 hour before and after each conference, the stream should be constant from 9 a.m. to 8 p.m. apart from between the PCs at 3 p.m. and Sony's at 6 p.m., where there would be a 1 hour gap. What are you going to do?"
Fill time, baby.
Yeah, we'll fill that hour.
Feel that dead air.
Magic tricks.
Dude, Ben, please do magic tricks at E3.
I would if I knew any magic tricks.
There'll probably be some impressions that we might be able to throw in there. We'll have to see. Depends
Like
on
Christopher Walken.
Yeah.
It's worth throwing out suggestions to us because, yes, some of us think like we could play games in between the bigger gaps. Like some of the days have 3 or 4 hour gaps. Show old videos. Just stay live and have conversations. So, yeah, I mean, we have lots of options. We haven't nailed it down.
Haven't built any Labo yet.
E3 Labo is a cool idea.
Oh.
This isn't especially constructive because it's not going to happen, but I kind of wish they would just give us some Smash and we could just play Smash in between the conferences.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, they're always just the hope for the shadow drop. To have another
Smash Brothers demo where like
traveler situation.
4 characters only or something, huh?
Yeah, that'd be great. When does the Mario Tennis Aces thing drop?
June 5th.
June 5th, okay.
Which is becoming a really popular day right now.
Is it June 5th or is it June 2nd?
Oh, maybe I'm getting mixed up because everything else is June 5th.
I think it's June 2nd.
Is it another demo or something?
It's the online tournament they're doing for.
Oh, so
But
right now
it's a
you can
demo.
download it, but it doesn't work until the 2nd?
Yeah, apparently. Yes.
Weird.
I mean, it's not that weird. It's just weird at like how long in advance you can download it.
Yeah.
They're probably doing that so they don't get like bum rushed with the people trying to like download it all at once
Yeah.
to play the tournament.
Good call.
But anyway, send us suggestions. We haven't had it locked down yet.
Yes.
Every time I always think an hour of pre-discussion is going to be too much, and it never is. Like we always run out of time.
Yeah.
E3
Even for like
is-
EA.
Yeah, even for EA.
Is
Hashtag even for EA.
yeah. I know on one of the days we might be having a group of guests showing up to do a discussion, so they'll fill at least like an hour or 90 minutes.
Spoilers.
Oh.
Spoilers.
Yeah, I've got some outside chance of guests as well, but they haven't got back to me.
Greasy. Our next question is from Kyle. He says, if you had to choose a video game character to be your roommate, who would you choose?
Oh, wow.
Huh.
Raichu.
Why?
Raichu?
Why Raichu?
Just wouldn't bother me. I could still do everything I do without a roommate, and is extremely powerful.
You want power in a
So
roommate.
if I need to kill anybody, like would leave me alone and could kill anybody.
I've got the perfect roommate. Chibi Robo.
Yeah, that's a good pick.
roommate,
Blood.
yeah.
Yeah.
I thought Blood was gonna be like my wife.
It pops her head in waves. It's got to be something like Cooking Mama or something. Is that just?
Oh, Cookie Mom's good.
Nobody from Katamari Damacy.
Yeah, I can't decide whether having Kazuma be your roommate would bring more violence into your life or less violence.
It would bring violence.
It would bring
Bring
more
them.
violence.
So much violence, John.
It would bring the violence, but you would
People show up
protect
to
from said
Kazuma's
violence.
place to fight
Oh,
him
yeah.
in his room. Okay, that's not just because every fight I see is out on the streets.
But you go out a lot. You do a lot
Yeah.
of things. You go play pool, do some darts.
Yeah.
I think Isabel would be a perfect roommate.
Get
Yeah.
into some uncomfortable conversations with women.
Good stuff. Yeah. Yeah. That would happen. Did everybody pick a roommate? Dummy, did you pick a
No.
roommate?
I'm still
I have
thinking.
no idea. Someone who could
Yeah,
do
that's a hard
chores
one.
and stuff that would help.
I'm gonna pick Lofty from Nino Kuni too, because he's small, he's funny, and he's powerful if he needs to
I
be.
Nice.
I just want to talk to him. I just love his voice so much. I just want to have nothing conversations with Lofty. Yeah.
I was gonna say the handler from Monster Hunter, but then she might like try to send you out on missions all the time, and that could get annoying.
Oh
She'd
yeah.
send you to Zora Magdaros, man.
Yeah, I'd be like, I don't want to fight Zora Magdaros.
I'm gonna say Rusty from SteamWorld Dig.
Ooh,
I thought you were going to say Rusty from the
Real deal baseball.
Begging you for money. Hey Huber, I'll have rent this month again.
But SteamWorld Dig is a good choice, man.
You can like make some cool gadgets.
Would you go out to dig with him?
Yes. Heck yeah. Teach me the ways of digging.
I would want to do the shopkeeper guy from Resident Evil 4, because I think it would be really funny. You would be like, you'd like come out of the bathroom and he would just be standing there and he'd be like, "What are you playing?" Or like, "What are you doing?" And I'd be like, "What are you doing?" I'm gonna watch TV, and he's like, "Can I watch?"
He's showing up in every video you're in.
Yeah, he just like shows up.
Crossbows. He's just got like Cool Ranch Doritos. You're like,
Yeah.
You want some Skittles? Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
We'd be like, "Stop giving me Skittles."
Do you want to hang out today?
But actually, no. That's the downside. Is like you come home and like your living room is just full of all this merchandise and like what's happening right now?
I'm like, "Where are you getting all this stuff?
What are you playing?
What are you playing?"
Some good answers there. Some good ones.
Just constantly annoying.
Let's move on to Eduardo here. He's got a question for us to chew on, a lengthy question for us to chew on. Every time I hear someone talk about what they would like to be able to do with digital copies, I always think back to Microsoft's original DRM policy, lending digital games to friends while being able to take them back from them anytime. No more borrowed, lost games. Trading in digital games. Also, letting you install and register physical copies of games without needing to insert it every time to play it. The online check-in function was an inevitability for a system like this to be able to work without piracy. I understand this is what threw people off, but that doesn't seem to be stopping multiplayer games. This was all very poorly communicated, and I believe it would have been better in the end by making the Xbox different from the rest and providing something that even the PC is not. We have seen digital sales going up since then and physical retailers struggling to keep up. What is your opinion on this policy in respect to our current way of consuming games? Do you think that throwing away this policy and just basically becoming the same as PS4 was better in the end?
I see where we're going with this question, but yes, Microsoft made the correct decision to drop that policy to be able to compete.
Correct. But like the brand manager in me is like, fine with it. I like it. Let's explore that.
They
continue.
They did what they had to do at the time, but I think they were, I don't know, maybe it was just like too future, because it was a cool idea and it's kind of the way it should work, but
I mean,
the world wasn't ready.
I think the reaction that you're gonna get, no matter how deep we get into this, is gonna be the same kind of reaction to where like if you told people you're gonna take away paper money, you're like, no, even if they always use their credit card, like, no, we're not doing that, you know?
Yeah. I mean, it boils down to the same thing, is that it's about like economic status kind of too. Like there are some restaurants and shops in this really fancy area by my house that are credit card only. And at first I was like, oh, that's cool. We're being future. But then I was talking with Omar and we realized like, oh, but that shuts out a lot of people who like don't have a credit card. So it's kind of, the same argument.
Yeah, I mean, that was one of the issues with the Xbox, is there are a lot of people that are in places that they don't have that internet access. Yeah. I mean, one of my friends, Aviator Gamer, who supports us as well, like he's been in Indonesia flying bush planes, like he doesn't have an internet connection that does him any good.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, there's a lot of people out there who use GameStop, who trade in their games and get value for the games they've already bought to buy new games or buy used games again. And so, it is kind of, it's cool for us to be like, yeah, digital's like selling really well, like cut out GameStop, but you're also seeing like cut out poor people, right? In a way that's not too cool.
I mean, like probably eventually once infrastructure is there, like it's the way it's going to go most likely as resources dwindle and whatever. But yeah, not ready yet. Not everybody has it yet.
Yeah. I think that's all well said.
Also, I don't want to like celebrate it. It's just already it sucks when a digital game goes unlisted and then just it will never appear again.
Yep.
So like
Pilgrim.
Yeah. So like I won't like push it forward. I know it might be an inevitable future, but I'm not going to cheer it on.
Mm-hmm.
Well, also the fact that digital copies are basically like betas. When you consider how much stuff gets patched in before release.
Mm. Yeah, so I guess I mean the way that it was going to work, right, is like you bought the disc, but the disc barely had the game on it. You just put it in and like download, like basically what we do now, anyways, download most of the game onto your hard drive. So yeah, it's just so weird to me that like you could buy that disc 20 years from now and try to download it, and there's a potential that it wouldn't download. You know?
Yeah.
That was didn't MGS5 work like that? Like the disc had like 20 megabytes on it or something.
Yeah, you had to watch Snake smoke for a long time as it installed.
Oh, that's 4.
That was 4.
That was
yeah.
4,
Oh,
yeah.
that was 4.
Sorry,
But
sorry.
that was on the disc. It just took forever to install.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but 5 was nothing on the disc, I think.
Really?
I thought so.
Huh.
Maybe I'm wrong. Anyway.
Don't remove options from people.
Yeah.
Our next question comes in from Robert. He says, allies, with the news of Star Fox Racing, only one moment came to my imagination. Fox McCloud finally reuniting with his long-lost, possibly marooned in the F-Zero universe, father in an emotional reunion that isn't a debatable vision Fox has. This gets me thinking, what emotional reunion would you like to see 2 video game characters finally have? Or an emotional reunion you feel you were cheated out of because the game tossed it away like it was a fleeting moment?
Oh, that's a really good question.
Let's start with you. You like emotional moments in video games. What 2 characters would you like to see finally reunited?
Barry Burton and Jill Valentine.
Immediately has it.
Yeah, we need that moment. You know, the end of Nemesis, like Barry comes in the helicopter, but like no words are said. So that's what I want.
Yeah.
Jill's in Revelations 2, right? Or wait, who's in Revelations 2?
Claire.
That's Claire,
Yeah,
right?
She's in 1.
Right.
So I would love that.
Man, that's a good cue.
Mm.
It's a good cue. Emotional reunions is hard though.
And we're assuming
Yeah.
we're assuming that they're both characters have to still be alive, right? Like you can't do like Cloud and Eris or something.
Well, you could.
We could, yeah.
In Valhalla.
They could return to the life force. Yeah.
Live stream, yeah.
Yeah. Hey, that's pretty good. That ain't bad.
That's
That
not
ain't
bad.
bad.
That's not bad.
That ain't bad.
Do you think Eris still loves Cloud post
No.
live stream?
No.
Yeah, I think she's
on
moved on to better
She's on
things.
that Zach train, dude. She's
Yeah.
back on it.
There's a
Yeah.
moment where she's like, "Who?
Yeah.
Who are you?" And it's really sad.
I'm Cloud.
I'm Cloud. I'm crazy. I'm that crazy guy you used to date. Kinda. I brought you a flower.
Hmm.
Yeah, it's hard to think of like because the
Yeah.
best ones would be like
Strange
long running series.
Yeah.
It'd be cool if if Atreus could meet Kratos' daughter. That'd be cool. If like
Yeah.
they could have a conversation. about that.
Kratos has a daughter.
He did.
Oh, he killed her.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Unintentionally.
I'll say
games.
Link and Midna reunion.
Dude, yes.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
Huber.
That's such a good one. You know what sucks though is like
love that.
she still harbors feelings for him for years, and then like he
Yeah.
probably married Zelda. You know.
Or what was her
He
name?
shows up to his
Damiani.
wedding.
What was her name? The other girl?
Which
Mifa?
one?
And no, in Twilight Princess, was it Illa or something
Oh,
like that?
Ilya, yeah.
Ilya, yeah.
Oh.
Nah, he's not
from his hometown. Yeah, he
Yeah.
grew
Yeah.
out of
No,
Ilya,
he's
yeah.
riding away in the ending.
Yeah.
There's extensive research on that last scene. He's not riding back to the forest. He's riding away.
Yeah, we know. He's going out to set out on an adventure, dude.
This is a hard question.
Yeah, one that I was thinking, the Chrono series, Janus and Scala. Like, that's a pretty big plot point that kind of stretches across both games. Although the way it stretches into Chrono Cross is a little weird, but yeah.
I'm thinking of a lot of resurrections, which I don't like. It's not what I want to do.
I mean, it'd be nice if Mario and Luigi could patch things up. This feud has been going on for like 6 games. It's getting bloody too. So it'd be cool if they could patch things up.
What about them meeting their father?
I mean, he's a deadbeat. It's known. It's widely known.
Deadbeat.
They had to become plumbers at an early age to make ends meet.
Yeah. They took over his business when he went out for cigarettes. Do they have a last name?
No.
Mario, I think, isn't it?
It's no, that's not
Oh,
canon.
that's
Don't go
not
there.
canon.
Don't go
Oh
there.
yeah, that was from the
Not canon.
movie, right?
Yeah.
Mario and Luigi
Yeah.
Mario.
Yep.
But they are back to being plumbers again, though.
Yeah.
I love that movie, and I don't care what anybody says.
I enjoy it.
There are parts of that movie that really creep me out. Some of the designs.
It's an intense movie.
Yeah.
Whenever somebody says "ba-bomb," I imagine the guy in the cab every time.
Yep.
Yeah, that's what I'm waiting for.
It's like right
Reunion of Mario and Luigi and Daisy from the end of that film. Talk about waiting for that sequel that never happened.
I got one more. I got one more reunion.
Hit me.
Sebastian and Oda from Evil Within.
I knew there'd be an Evil Within one.
Yeah.
Wait, who's Oda?
Joseph, the cop from the
Oh.
first game with the glasses.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Just say his first name.
Do you
And
think
then
that's,
if you do,
do you think that's gonna be emotional, dude?
dude, there's some
For one of
secret-
us, it will.
There's some secret stuff in Evil Within 2 that I don't want to give away.
Oh, dang. Okay. Cool.
Yarnum and Murgo.
Mm,
Just get them together, man. She suffered long enough.
her baby.
All right.
Or like,
Mega Man Legends 3, Mega Man, and Tron Bond.
is that the one where he's on the moon?
He's on the moon.
Yeah,
Stranded on the moon.
stranded on the moon.
My reunion is Mega Man and a new game.
Hey-o.
Hey, October 3rd, baby.
Isn't there one coming?
Yeah.
Your reunion's coming true.
But I
I
thought
know.
you were gonna say Dante and Kamiya.
Yeah, there you go. That's a real
Reunited.
answer. That is a real answer.
That's too real, dude.
Ornstein and Smell.
Yeah,
Dude,
get
please
that
reunite.
going. Made in
picnic.
Black and like anybody.
I want to fight them again.
You
Maybe-
remastered, man.
Yeah, you
Here we
can.
go.
Remaster.
Oh no!
Don't
Don't tempt me.
The prophecy has come to pass.
I dare Huber to beat him on his first try again.
I got so lucky. I was in a zone.
That was
unlike
so many
any
hours.
zone I've ever been
I
in.
can't believe it. Yeah.
This just smells like a bet.
There's no way I could do it again.
But yeah,
There's pressure.
remaster. The
Especially
remaster
if
is
we were
tempting.
like, streaming it or something.
It's a shame they took Ornstein and Smo out of the remaster, though. Not sure.
That's true. Yeah.
You got a passion back there.
Two beta chaos is in there now.
Yeah. At the same time.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. We're getting
Speak
called
code
up for our
from
next question. If we're
All right,
ready
go.
for it. So the next question here: how well do you know each other? Look to your left and say what the Allies' favorite movie of all time is. And so we're gonna start with Brad. Brad, you're gonna have to guess my favorite movie of all time, which I don't
Your
think
favorite
I've-
movie?
Yeah, I don't think many likely know.
That's gonna be tough. I'm gonna say Totoro.
That's probably in my top 3.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's probably in my top 3. So I think you should give it.
Yes.
Get it. Alien, the original Alien is my favorite movie.
Oh.
Good choice.
All right, Blood. I almost called you Daniel. Okay, Blood. look next to what is Brad's favorite movie of all time?
Good luck, Blood.
This is hilarious because the order of our pictures are
I know,
clearly
it's
not the
all
same
out of
on every
whack.
screen. I'm
Yeah.
like, I'm looking at Huber here.
That's why I'm calling it out. That's
Yeah,
why I'm
yeah.
calling it out.
Ben has to call it out.
Yeah,
I have to
it's
go
gonna
to
be the same for the
Brad.
audience.
Yeah.
you
Good
got
luck,
it.
Brad.
Yeah, I don't know. Akira, I don't know.
Advent Children.
No.
Lethal Weapon.
Fellowship of the Ring, baby.
Nice.
Brandon,
Who do I gotta do? I gotta do Bloods.
you got to do Blood. Yeah, sorry. Brandon has to do Blood.
That's not gonna. I don't even know.
Yeah. Dude. Oh, you don't even know what your favorite movie is?
Just say yes to Johnson.
Fellowship of the Ring. Yeah, baby.
All right, good job, Jones.
Yeah.
Good job,
job,
Brandon. Brandon, head of the ship, knows Blood's favorite movie. Good job.
Actually, I do have a go-to pick that I've said over and over a number of
Citizen
times. Nazca.
That's a
Oh,
great
Nazca.
pick. Yeah.
Little Nemo.
There's a lot of Ghibli movies that you could say that would be good picks. But Ian, you have to do Brandon.
Oh gosh. Okay. Could be Aliens. Could be
Very, very, very good guess.
Die Hard.
Also,
Could be.
very good film. Alien's better than Die Hard, though.
Yeah.
Could be Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Could be Raiders.
Very good movie.
Could be Star Wars: A New Hope or Empire Strikes Back.
Very good movies.
Mm-hmm.
Not it.
These are
Okay.
excellent guesses. Ian, more guesses than anyone has had.
Uh,
I believe I have said it before on a Q&A.
okay.
If we're using the F word, favorite movie of all time.
Right.
I don't
Could
certainly
be
don't think it's the
Jurassic
best.
Park.
The
It
deep-
might be a comedy.
Pee-wee's Big Adventure.
Can I give everybody the director and see if he can get it?
Go for it.
Harry
Yes.
Gilliam.
Who dat?
Oh,
Uh,
okay.
Munchausen?
Yay!
I've
Wow.
never heard of that.
I've heard that. I've heard Brandon say that before. I haven't watched the movie. But
What is that?
What a deep cut.
It's a very, very deep cut. It's the same guy who did 12 Monkeys and
Yeah. Brazil.
Brazil and Time Bandits, and it's starring John Neville, and it's kind of Peter Pan-esque. It's a movie about a fictional character, and he comes to life, but is he real or is he not? Sarah Polley, who's an independent film director now, plays a little girl in it, and she's really, really great.
Oh.
It's like there's so many good movies that have just terrible kids in it, and so it's like she's like, I have a very good actress in it at a very young age.
Cool.
Robin Williams is in it, is not credited.
Uma
And the
Thurman's in it too for
Uma
like
Thurman's
a
in
second.
it. Yep.
All right, Kyle, you've got, I guess, Ian's favorite movie.
I have
Easy.
what?
This is easy. Sorry, what were you about to say?
I have a favorite movie.
Do you?
Yeah.
Okay. Why is it in quotation marks?
Because I mean, it's not like high art. It's just my favorite movie.
Okay, so I think it's got.
It's not like the best film of all time. It's just my favorite.
I think it has a comedic element.
Sure.
Okay. I think that it was filmed in the 80s.
Yeah.
Okay.
I do believe so.
Teasing it
yes.
out. Yeah.
I think that. I don't know, Ian. I don't know. Is it Ghostbusters?
But good guess.
Can I make a guess?
Yeah.
Is your favorite movie Who Framed Roger
That's
Rabbit?
what I was gonna guess.
That's like number 2 or 3.
Okay.
Nice.
It's
Good guess.
not this one. There is one but that's like number 2. Yeah.
Is it The Princess Bride?
It is.
Oh,
Nicely done, Kyle.
Kyle wins. Okay, this is beautiful. Damiani, you have to guess Kyle's favorite movie.
Kyle doesn't watch movies, so
Kyle, do you have one?
I have enough favorites that where, like, if Damiani hits 1 of 5, I'll say yes.
one of
Alright.
5.
Mm-hmm.
It's funny because on YouTube it's actually mirrored, so you're all guessing to the right, but on our Hangouts it's to the left. But whatever, it'll work.
I'm trying to think of a comedy.
Probably
like Groundhog Day.
No, dude.
Thought that'd be perfect for you.
You're right, because it's like high concept comedy. Yeah, it just doesn't sting to me.
Nothing But Trouble, starring Dan Aykroyd.
That's it. That's my favorite.
It's a terrible movie.
Bill Murray, love Aykroyd.
Really, the Burbs. The
What
Tom
is the
Hanks.
Burbs, dude?
Tom Hanks.
Oh, Kyle needs to watch that.
Yeah,
You might
Kyle.
pick the Burbs.
All right. Cool. My favorite movie is The Burbs.
Yeah,
Okay.
this is great.
It's the Pokemon
Carrie
movie.
Fisher.
Hubert, you have to guess Damiani's favorite movie.
We're just leaving it at that.
Yeah, it's The Burbs.
Yep, canon now. Put it on the wiki.
Kingsglaive.
No. Okay. No.
No, I'm gonna say.
Slave.
I'm gonna say E.T.
Whoa.
It's a good pick.
That is a good
Um,
pick.
It's up there.
Is Damiani?
So here's the
is
problem,
yours one
I'm
Lord of the
I
Rings?
don't have a favorite. I have like too many favorites. So that's in the upper echelon, Hubert.
say-
I'll give that to you.
I would also say like Princess Bride. I was gonna say Princess Bride.
I like Princess Bride, but it's not as high as E.T.
Okay.
on my list.
Wow.
But yeah,
All right.
still very good.
E.T. hype.
You came very close, Hubert. Helps.
Is it Jurassic Park then?
No, Jurassic Park's pretty good, but I don't love it as much as Dawn loves it. So I would put I think the movie I watched the most over and over again, probably says something is the original Matrix, Matrix 1.
Oh,
That's a good pick.
Oh,
That's a
great
good pick.
Yo,
Great
Carrie
pick.
Ann Moss, dude, big fan.
I saw
Okay.
her at a restaurant one time.
I have to guess Huber's. I don't know.
It's easy. I'm boring.
The movie that I've seen you give the most reverence to, I think, is Aliens.
Yeah.
So that's what I would guess.
Yep.
All
Easy.
right.
Easy, boring pick.
I was
It's
just gonna
between that
say,
and it's between that and The Shining.
Oh,
The
man.
Shining.
Shining is up there for me, too.
Wow.
Cool.
Well done, Huber.
Empire
So
Strikes
we did
Back.
all right.
Yeah, we did pretty good. We know each other pretty well.
I think it'd be a fun exercise. I know Huber and Ian have your list of favorite movies. I kind of want to do the same.
Oh, yeah, I want to look at that.
I haven't actually thought through it, you know.
Yeah.
Will the Raid 2 be on that list now, Kyle?
Like if you make me do best action movies, yeah.
How about just favorite movies?
Favorite.
Nah, it didn't really pull on my heartstrings, dude.
Okay. But you were entertained.
It pulled on my gut.
Okay.
Kyle, you got to angle your camera down.
No, I just gotta stop slouching.
Oh, okay. That's better, too.
All right. Our next question is from XWF Outlaw. He says, "Good afternoon, allies. I hope this comment updates in time, but if it does, great. Okay, my question is, what was your early memories of discovering anime for the first time? This can be centered around the first anime you ever watched, or the most memorable anime that has the greatest influence on your life. For me, it was in 1997 when the Sci-Fi Channel aired the Saturday anime program every Saturday morning, most of which was not something a young kid that age should be watching, like Vampire Hunter D, Dominion, Tank Police, X, or Demon City Shinjuku. But it was one called Gall Force Eternal Story, an 80s sci-fi space adventure comprised of an all-female cast of a group of soldiers in a race to secure their new home planet from the clutches of a cunning alien race. It has nods to several classic Western sci-fi movies like Star Wars 2001 and Alien, and has become one of my favorite standalone animes of all time. Thanks for everything you guys do, and have a spectacular E3.
Anime was really confusing to me as a young child because it was so different from the cartoons I watched growing up, but also like in a weird way, like the Ghostbusters cartoon, it was not made in the US. You know what I mean? Like you see flashes of like Sailor Moon. You never watch it, but it's like, what is that? You see like my dad loved Speed Racer, and so that's when that came on. He'd be like, Kyle, I love this show. It's like, why do they talk like this? He's like, it's made in Japan. And so like it took me a long time to understand anime. But when I finally got it,
you got it.
I got it.
Yeah, my answer is very similar. I remember watching Pokemon early on and not having a concept of what anime was. I think it was Dragon Ball Z that made me aware of what anime was, and Akira as well. But my earliest memory of anime, I believe, is Sailor Moon.
Yeah.
And like I remember there being kind of the stigma around it, like it was meant for girls. And that really bothered me at first, but eventually I was just like, no, this show is too cool. And watched some Sailor Moon on TV. Anime on TV is the best. I wish I still had TV so I could watch Toonami, because Toonami was like the most formative thing for me with anime.
Toonami is still good.
Yeah. Yeah. Looking at the current lineup, it's very good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead.
I jumped in like to the deep end. First anime I ever saw was Ninja Scroll,
Nice.
which was pretty traumatic as a young Christian at the time individual. I was like, what is this? Like, what is happening? And then I went all in. I was watching Perfect Blue, Akira, and obviously Cowboy Bebop is where I fell in love. And then I did the math because I had a lot of disposable income in high school because I worked 40 hours a week a lot of the summer and stuff. And I did the math, and I'd spent like $1,200 on anime DVDs because the only way to get them was to go to Suncoast and buy $30 DVDs at a time. So then I was like, oh, God. But yeah, Serial Experiments Lane, Hellsing. Obviously, Cowboy Bebop, though, is like God tier. But yeah, Ninja Scroll was my first.
What'd you do to all your DVDs?
I traded a lot of them into Reckless Records when I moved from Chicago to LA on a whim. I just like boxed up the ones I thought were decent and I didn't want to keep, and I just gave them all to Reckless Records. I think the one on Clark, the one uptown, not the downtown one.
In college, my buddy, the same one who would later be my roommate, who would like come in and be like, dude, during Skyward Sword, it was so funny. He was like, dude, you got to check out Ninja Scroll. This is really good. And like during the rape scene, I like turned to him like, hey man, like what is this? He's like, you got to ignore this part. Dude,
you got to ignore this part. Yeah, it's pretty intense.
I'm so glad you brought up the high price of anime DVDs, because like as a kid with no money, that was a huge limiting factor.
Yeah,
for like what I could and could not watch.
That like because only Suncoast had them, and they were $30 a pop. Like, and like that's like not for a set. That's like Cowboy Bebop disc 1.
Oh,
and these
disc 1, $30.
And these jerks would sell a DVD with like 3 episodes on.
Yeah, if that. Like you're lucky to get 3.
Yeah, yeah, it was brutal.
Oh God.
They must have made so much money.
Yeah, they did.
Oh yeah.
The earliest I remember was watching Dragon Ball Z in the really early 90s from a VHS one of my brother's friends from Japan brought over. I think it was the Revenge of Cooler movie. I think that's the first thing I saw of it. I just looked up when that came out, and it was 1992. Good Lord. I think I saw it probably like 93 or 4, something like that.
Just a baby.
The wee lad. That's a year before Jurassic Park.
Yeah, I watched Akira in my buddy's van. He had a TV in his van.
In the van.
I was like,
Brandon sees you.
That's the appropriate venue
I knew
for
it.
watching.
got some anime. Come on in.
Yeah.
How did that happen? Like come into my van and watch Akira?
We would like go on like errands with his mom and like just drive around on doing errands, and we would just watch Akira on the TV in the van.
It's a long errand, dude.
Yeah.
And then
Was
I
mom
had
driving?
Yeah, his mom would drive.
What did she think was going on? That one?
I don't know.
Constant screaming.
Akira is so violent. And then my friend was super into Rurouni Kenshin.
Yeah.
And like got me into that. That was like the first show anime I watched. And then of course like Dragon Ball Z.
We used to do that as kids. We would hook up when we could drive in like high school. We would hook up a big CRT TV and a PlayStation in my friend's car, and we would just drive around town playing PlayStation in his car for no reason. Because it's a small town, there's just nothing to do.
Tenchi Muyo was a big early one for me too. I think that was like before Cowboy Bebop for me.
Robotech was my first.
Yeah, Jones.
Robotech.
My buddy
Yeah, buddy.
showed me some Robotech. He
Rick Hunter.
also showed me Ben, is the Record of Lodoss War, is that technically an anime?
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, totally.
Saw that. We made a fantasy film in high school, and it was highly inspired by Record of Lodoss War. I didn't even think like Palin is the wizard from Lodoss War.
Do you still have that?
Jones.
Oh, yeah.
Come on, dude.
Oh yeah, no, we got more fundraisers to do.
Save that. Yeah, save that.
We got more.
Holy cow, I got to see that. So wait, you have like practical special effects and everything?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
And it's me. I was a warrior named Beld, and like my armor was like 2 black like leather belts just strapped like around my shoulders. Sorry. Pretty good.
Okay.
That's good stuff.
But yeah, I remember distinctly watching Robotech and being like, so wait, so there's like the young pilot and then like the older pilot, because it was the movie, it wasn't the show. And I was like, okay, well, like the younger pilot's like dating this girl who's a singer, and I was like, that's an interesting subplot. And then there's like one like 5-minute scene that was just her in a concert. And I was like,
yes,
are they gonna cut to something else, or is this just her singing for like 3 minutes?
Welcome to anime.
Yeah, I was like,
Yep.
Jones, did you ever watch Escaflowne?
I've heard of it. No, I never saw it.
Medieval Gundam.
Yeah, pretty rad.
I wish we had like a lower third that could pop up when we say something. that just says "Welcome to Anime."
Yeah.
Welcome to
Well,
anime.
and the
Build
best
that
about Robotech was how many missiles they fired at once. The first time I saw anything
yeah.
do that, I
Oh
was
my
like,
god.
why doesn't everything do this?
Yeah.
Star Wars just sucked instantaneously. I was like, what? One laser per ship?
Jones, you got to watch The Expanse. People be firing missiles.
I've seen like 5 or 6 episodes in.
There's
The Expanse sounds awesome.
I gotta pick that.
It
up.
is.
Normally not my type of thing, but The Expanse seems awesome.
Yeah.
Saved.
Acting's a little cheesy, but the story is very good.
It's a Sci-Fi Channel show. Well, now it's an Amazon show, but like, you know, the barrier to entry is accepting that it's a Sci-Fi Channel.
All right, we're gonna move on to the next question here. Joseph's. Oh, sorry, Blood. Sounds like you had an answer.
Did we hear Damiani?
Oh.
Yeah. Well, got loud sirens.
Hot answer coming in.
We got no. I think growing up, like, there was like no separation with a lot of those shows, like whatever they showed on TV. Like, there's no concept of something being like anime or anything like that. Even like I mentioned NASCAR earlier, and like we had the butchered American version of that that it's completely disowned by Ghibli. But I had that on VHS and watched that a whole bunch. But it wasn't until like after high school really that like I started watching anything with the mindset of it being anime and getting into anime. And it's actually my wife now who got me more into anything. So she would have coworkers who would basically let us borrow things, and so we watched the first one we really watched through was Kimagure Orange Road.
Whoa.
Which is like 80s anime that's like a mix of kind of like romantic plot and then like psychic powers and stuff. I kind of only remember it vaguely because we watched through it then, but we don't have like a copy now to like rewatch it. But it was really cool and had cool soundtrack and stuff. And we watched Evangelion and some Trigun, and so that's basically where we started. And then I had a roommate for a number of years who had a monthly anime club that got together, and so we watched a lot of stuff with them.
Nice.
Did you have some early anime experiences that you want to share with us, Damiani?
Yeah. It's kind of long. That's why I was gonna.
Don't make it long. Don't you?
There's no way to not make it long. Sorry.
There's no way.
There's no way to not make it long
There's no way to say this was the first anime I ever watched.
because it's complicated.
Okay. All right.
Well, we got to hear it now.
settle in,
We got to get the train rolling.
Buckle in. There's no other way to tell this story.
All right, so I'm not
Be
like
Miguel.
Davey,
Be Miguel and edit your story right now.
No, see how like everyone says that, but then like you get the millions of comments afterwards. Like, I want the full story. Like,
Okay.
why? Where's the rest of it?
All right.
So I never saw anything in the '90s about anime or anything like that. At least not that I can remember. It wasn't until I got into college and my first exposure. I sort of told part of the story before. It was roommates and other people in the dorm watching both Inuyasha and Dragon Ball Z. And I was just like, what the hell is this shit?
Mhm.
I just like go in there. It looked terrible. It sounded terrible. And they would all be huddled and stuff. So I guess I was kind of like jealous. Like, why are you guys like watching this crap? It's stupid. And they were like, yo, you should come in here and watch it with us. I'm like, no, it's stupid. I'm going to go in my room by myself now, not watch it with you guys. I watch your cool Dragon Ball Z. And then they were like, so a few of us moved in together the following year, our sophomore year. And they were like, all right, that's it, Damiani. You are seeing anime now. And I'm like, no, I don't need to watch anime. I get it. Like, it's not, I don't want to watch it. And like, no, you're sitting down, you're watching Cowboy Bebop. They're like, if you don't like this, we will leave you alone. And I'm like, okay, fine. Sit me down. And like, they handed me the DVD. So one of my roommates, he owned a shit ton of DVDs or anime. And I was like, okay, cool. He's got like a whole stockpile. He gives me Cowboy Bebop, the entire set, and he goes, enjoy. And I'm like, oh, okay. That night, just start watching. I didn't stop watching. And he comes out and he's like, so you're at the last episode. I was like, I'm gonna sit and watch this with you. Because like I want to watch your reaction to this. And afterwards it was like the Matrix where he's like, hey Mikey, I think he likes it. You want more? I'm like, hell yeah. So he gives me Evangelion, then he gives me like Lotus War, then he introduced me to Ghibli shit. I was like, whoo! I think like the next month I just watched like nonstop anime. And I was just like, yo, this is great. This is good. And I know a lot of you are saying like buying DVDs and stuff. And I said a roommate, Blockbuster. The Blockbuster by where it was did basically in-person like monthly like subscription to rent like one DVD at a time. And they had an anime section. And I just started just taking went down the list, just started taking each one of them, just watched them like nonstop. And I was like, all right, cool. I've watched like every anime now. And then I found fan subgroups online. I was like, we're watching Naruto now. I was like, here we go.
Man, I did that too, but the anime section of my Blockbuster was pitiful. Like it was super limited.
The video vault in my hometown had a whole bunch of anime, but they were all like the really dark, gritty, violent stuff because that's what the guy who liked anime liked at that store. So I saw like all the like Fist of the North Star and Ninja Scroll and all that stuff.
And I was pointing out apparently my cat jumped.
Yeah, it was very cool.
It's epic.
It was a good cat jump. And it was right when you went, woo!
Yeah, you went, woo, and the cat went.
They're in sync. All right. Our next question comes in from Joseph. He says, hey, allies, I'm sure you've all been playing video games and absorbing video game news for most of your lives. We learn new information every day and have more personal experiences and shared opinions than ever. With that in mind, I want to know one of your previously held general beliefs related to video games or the industry or the coverage of video game news, and if you know the answer, why you no longer hold that belief.
Wait, what is it?
So I think he's saying like something that you used to believe, like a general belief that you had about video games that you don't have anymore.
Oh, I see.
It's Souls in general, that like those games aren't fun.
Yeah, that was wrong. Yeah.
I really did not understand it. I don't know if it was like a belief that I'm like, you're wrong. Like I didn't get it, you know, like spicy food. I was just like, I don't understand.
The 64 disk drive will make Nintendo 64 superior to PlayStation.
That's a good one.
I talked about this morning, physical and digital games. I used to not want to buy physical games. Or digital, I mean. I used to not want to buy digital games, and now I'm way more open to it.
Yeah, I agree with you there. That was an opinion I held for a bit of time, too.
I gave up physical as fast as possible.
All types of DLC are evil. Should have been available on the disc.
Yeah, I guess I'm kind with you there, Damiani.
There's just some types of DLC that would never have been included on.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm thinking like when I was like learning about like how video game exposure works, and I guess in regards to GTTV more than anything, but it's just kind of it's how like all of Hollywood works, is like the idea of like, hey, I'll give you an exclusive on this big game as long as this is the publisher, as long as you also talk about these other games I want you to talk about. Right. And it's the same way with like booking guests on like a talk show. It's like, yeah, I'll give you Tom Hanks, but you also have to talk to this other guy who isn't as famous. And it's just like weird, like learning how those things work. It's like, why am I learning about this video game right now? And it's basically it's a deal. You know what I mean? It was a package deal, so like you can get those other things as well.
This is beating a dead horse a little bit for me, but starting with Final Fantasy VII and moving onward, I thought I would enjoy every new mainline Final Fantasy, and 13 showed me that I would not.
So. Ben, I'll tell you, I did, except for the two online games. For sure, every mainline Final Fantasy is a good game.
I'm saying these are my general beliefs that I don't believe anymore. Not yours.
Bad belief, dude.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
Finish Persona 5, Kyle.
13 rules. 13 is a better video game than Persona 5.
No.
Whoa, Kyle, why don't you just leave this call right now, dude? You just get out of here. Not even close, buddy.
Hey, Kyle.
Face the facts.
Kyle.
Yep.
Bad belief, dude. Bad belief,
The
dude.
baddest belief.
That is the worst belief I've heard Kyle say.
I want a shirt that says like bad beliefs. like a really cool like
And it has lightning on there. Bad beliefs.
bad beliefs.
I could whip that up for you, Kyle.
Let's do it.
3 seconds.
All right.
After the Wii U, I thought Nintendo was like done with good consoles, but I'm glad that I was very wrong.
It's a good one.
The Switch brought you back.
Oh, I love the Switch.
Yeah,
it's
go
my
ahead.
fave.
I mean, another weird thing is like back at the game trailers days, I was kind of buying into like this mobile only like this thing that like consoles aren't going to work, that the PS4 and the next Xbox are like not going to be successful, and like of course the Xbox has to go and be like a set top box for cable because like console games are dying and everything's going mobile and tablets. Like tablet games are going to be huge. Everybody's going to be playing games on their tablets all day. And I kind of like bought in a little bit, you know what I mean, to that being our inevitable future, not the one that I wanted. But it was so cool to see that did not occur.
Factor got in your head, dude.
Pactor got in my head for sure.
There's the tactile feeling cannot be understated, you know? Like people don't like playing on it.
Man,
tablet.
Yeah.
I never bought into the consoles are dying nonsense. That whole phase of video game discourse was really frustrating.
Yeah, it's over, baby.
It's all right, we won, Ben.
Yep.
We did win because we got Persona 5.
Yeah, that's right.
That's right.
That snicker means he knows it's true.
Yeah.
That's what it means. All right. Our next question comes in from James. He says, "Hello, allies. I want to keep things simple. So who is your favorite and least favorite silent protagonist in a game?"
Worst story I've ever fucking played in a video game is Far Cry 5. It is trash. The worst silent protagonist. The worst story. Honestly, I'm saying it right now. It's the worst story ever told in a video game. Period.
Wow.
Period.
No.
It's so bad.
That can't be true though.
It is terrible. It's nonsensical. It makes no sense. It doesn't go anywhere.
It doesn't go anywhere. I will.
It doesn't do anything. It doesn't say anything. It's terrible.
Well, it says a lot. It just says that stuff over and over and over again.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
So
Link's probably the best, right? Right?
I don't know.
Really good.
Pick which one.
Gordon Freeman probably, because Link is at least it's established that Link kind of is talking. You just don't like hear him or read him because it's obvious based on their reactions. Where Gordon Freeman is actually not talking, like he's actually being a silent weirdo,
And that makes him good?
It immerses me more into his character because he doesn't say anything. That I'm like, wait, what? No, I don't want to say that. It doesn't. Like a lot of first-person shooters, you just kind of have to adopt to the personality of the character that you're playing, and they do a good job of a balance of like letting you kind of assume kind of what's going on in his mind, but not making it weird by having the characters actually every now and then kind of turn to him and be like, "You don't talk much, do you?" And just I love the kind of man of action vibe to that as well. That like he doesn't need to talk, like he spends a lot of time by himself trying to survive, and so that does something to people.
Cool.
I like it.
Good answer.
Yeah, you made your case, Jones.
Yeah, I mean, I had a bad time in Half-Life, so I have a negative disposition towards Gordon Freeman. So he ranks pretty low on my list.
Man, I think Gordon is one of the better ones for sure.
Very high up on my silent protagonist list, Octodad.
Octodad? Okay.
Amazing.
Is he silent though? He goes,
He doesn't talk. He doesn't speak discernible words that we can understand. So it's,
Octo.
you make grunts and stuff. That's this noises.
Speaking Octo.
Yeah, it's very good.
It's a bad
Like
one.
I love that that restaurant scene. Best context for silent protagonists.
And that was DLC.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's best, but one that came into mind, like in Dragon Quest VII, for example, your hero doesn't speak, and I think it works because I like it since there's a bunch of little stories that essentially you're going through, and you rarely have like awkward interaction with the protagonist. It's just kind of like, okay, we're going to figure out the characters of this little story. It's going to be about them, and like it doesn't feel. I hate those moments where they pull back and you have the awkward, like, what's your opinion on this super serious thing? And then you get nothing. And then they're like, oh, hey, thanks for all of your huge input. And you said nothing. Because of the way that they structure that game, you're focusing on different groups of people constantly. Like the silent protagonist isn't a hurdle, which I like.
I want to make a quick statement that is not the best and worst, but I think it's a good example of what makes them good and bad. Pokemon Red and Blue, you have a silent protagonist. It's you, basically. You know what I mean? You're playing through the game. And you... in Pokemon Sun and Moon, the most recent, when your character walks into a scene, he's just always smiling, and it's just like, hey, the fate of the world is on your shoulders, and your character's like, like I just hate that. Like basically, when the story gets too advanced, when you progress too much in cutscenes and dialogue and things like that, it doesn't make sense anymore for your silent protagonist just to be like, and just like you lose character at that point. You're devoid of character, and it makes no sense for anything to revolve around what your character chooses to do. And so, yeah, I think that silent protagonists work better in simpler games. I won't make any Persona comments. I'm moving on. I'm done.
Persona 5 is my favorite. So there's.
What's your favorite, dude?
Yeah.
That's your favorite silent protagonist.
Persona 5 is a 10 out of 10 masterpiece.
Okay.
So,
all right. Sure. Jones made a case. Jones made a really good case for Gordon Freeman. I defy you to make one for that Persona 5 kid.
The way, like, I don't know, just Sojiro, like straight up, his relationship with Sojiro alone is amazing.
No,
And he
that's
doesn't need to
Sojiro,
speak.
I agree. Sojiro's great. But
you,
that doesn't make your
like,
silent protagonist good.
He reflects everyone back though, and you pick responses too.
So he's not silent. Is what I'm saying.
Yeah, is that
He's
a
talking.
No.
if you can pick things,
That is not
If
a
you
silent
pick-
attack.
so it doesn't
If you
count?
pick things that it says, it's not silent.
Huh.
I mean, like, I think I would say like yes and no. Like,
Because he does have a voice, and it does pop up, and like I get what you're
right,
saying.
he has a voice actor.
He's not a blank slate at all.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
it doesn't count.
Doesn't count.
Dang it.
Doesn't count.
I don't know.
Whew, close one.
My favorite of
One with the
Souls-
scrolling, Blood. I saw the reflection in your glasses, dude.
Scrolling, dude.
Silent protagonists.
No, he's like looking at a list already.
My favorite of the Souls games, because like Kyle, I think Kyle hit
That's good, yeah.
the nail on the head, where it's like the more characters talk to my character and the less I can say, the more frustrating I find it, because it's like, I mean, like Persona, whatever like game it is, but like there have been games where I'm like, just say something. This could be so much simpler if you just like explained where you were coming from, or if I could, you know. But like in the Souls games, especially Bloodborne, it's like people barely talk anyway.
Mhm.
So it makes sense that you're just like this grizzled, like silent hunter. And like, yeah, you say yes and no, like, but I think you can do that with nodding and stuff. I really like that. The worst ones, I can't think of an example, but like the worst ones where it's like, God, I wish I could just say a thing and clear this up, you know?
Majora's Mask.
Funny.
In going through Dark Souls Remastered again, and just how like every NPC just laughs at you.
I love it.
It's the way they had the conversation. It's really funny.
Every voice line ends with
Yeah, like Oscar's
I love
laugh
it.
is really fucking creepy.
I wanted to put together a Souls laughing montage when we did the retro, and it
yeah.
like wasn't entertaining. Like I started doing it with Demon Souls and then Dark Souls, and I was like, this is not. It just got boring after a while. It wasn't funny.
Sure.
because it's
Yeah.
they're like creepy knowing laughs. you
Yes.
know?
Yeah.
It's like they always laugh like it's like I'm not telling you everything.
Their laughs are very like they're telling you exactly their motivation
Yeah.
through laugh. Like Lautrex is very like,
I'm
like
bad.
this dude is shady.
Yeah. He's like, I'm gonna come fire like and kill everyone later.
Seriously, I need to replay it just so I can get revenge on him.
Brett, I fought Lautrec yesterday, and
Mhm.
man, the way that his sickles completely ignore your shield sometimes,
Mhm.
it's absolutely hilarious. I
Yeah,
really
dude.
threw me off guard.
Yeah, man.
Kyle, quick question for you.
Yeah.
Yo, when are they gonna make the rivals in Pokemon not like these happy-go-lucky friend? Like, I want a nasty rival again.
Look forward to Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee coming this fall.
But that's the same
Makes me
rival
excited.
in a new package. I want a new kid that is nasty. I think the
I want a Draco.
Yes.
the friendly rivals suck.
Yes, they do. Big time. How is no fun. He really is no fun.
He's no fun. He's
Yeah.
super bland.
yeah.
We need a dark
Kyle.
and gritty Pokemon.
Tim Geddes is convinced that Red and Blue 2 is going to launch on Switch this year. Thoughts?
I'm convinced too. I just don't think it's going to be by that name.
Okay.
I'm convinced, dude. I'm riding that wave.
Nice. Cool.
Is this the slowest we've ever been at a Q&A?
No, we've been slower.
Wow.
Somebody keeping track of the questions.
We've got like
We've been
6 in an
slow.
hour.
Yeah, the anime slowed us down a lot.
As expected.
Red
As he
Knight.
does.
All right, Mike Cook, we're going to answer this one as quickly as we can because it's a quick question. Congratulations, Hubie. I'm super happy for you. That was in all caps from Mike Cook. Now, allies, please rank the 9 of yourselves between most chill and biggest diva.
I'm definitely on the diva end.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
I think I'm
Oh,
on the diva
yeah.
end and Ian's on the diva end.
Yeah, me and Kyle and Jones, Diva.
Blood's probably most chill. Brad's
I think-
probably Damiani's above Brad, Blood, and then Brad's above Damiani,
Okay.
and then I think Ben, and then Huber, and then
I think Huber's
Ian,
a
and then
little chiller
myself,
than
and then Ian and I are probably interchangeable. I can't really call that because I'm talking about myself. But I think Ian and I are battling for second or third place, and then Kyle is clearly the diva.
Yeah. Gotta have it his way, baby.
It's like Die Hard. It's
Oh,
like
and-
Die Hard 1 and 3 to 2. It's like we're like here, and then Kyle is like way
And
over
Dawn is
here.
below Blood. Dawn is the absolute.
Don is
Oh,
below
yeah.
blood.
The
Yeah.
chillest,
Oh,
yeah.
Diva scale,
100%
the diva
chillest.
scale is Dawn on one end and Kyle on the other. That's
Yeah.
Yeah,
the diva
Diva scale.
The diva scale.
The
I
diva
think
index.
that seems about right.
All right. Matt asks, hey, allies, my friends and I have started doing an E3 betting special ourselves, and since I have all of your attention, I want you to create a bet for us. Here's how, starting with Ben and going down the line of Google Pictures. Each of you will say one word until we have a complete
Oh, no.
bet. At
Kyle
least
loves this.
This is my kind of thing.
slightly relevant to E3. If it's so bad it needs to be redone, go ahead. I'll try to update you on the results of the bet next month. Here we go. Okay, so we're one word apiece. I'll
We
start.
don't know the order though.
Yeah, I'll give you the order. I'll
Okay.
call it the order. Okay, first word, Huber.
Wait, Ben, I want to stop you right there.
I'm a little confused what we're doing.
This is going to have to end with a question.
Yeah, so it should be a what, who, how.
I'm gonna write it.
No, you can
into-
start a question.
No, you
with
can have a yes or no question. You can have a
you
yes
can
or no
say-
question.
Yeah, what's the problem?
Yeah.
You started with dude.
Yeah, a new something will appear. You can
Yeah.
totally do that. That's a fair question.
Most of ours start like that.
Diva,
No, they-
I'm gonna have to ask you to step down.
As the
gonna
person
say-
who writes the bets, it has to be like because the person has to be able to say yes or no.
You can just get rid of will, and it's still a yes or no question. A
Yeah, it's
blank
still a
will
yes or no
appear at-
question.
And then a blank will appear. That's that would end with a period. And
A
then
game will
something-
appear at E3. Yes
True
or no?
false.
That's
True or false?
All right. We're making a true or false bet, beginning with the word
All right, this is supposed to be fun. So to appeal to Kyle, I guess.
I'm saying, is this one or two words? Help me out here.
Here,
brother.
I'll do Will to please Kyle. We'll do Will.
Okay. Frame rate.
Okay.
Built frame rate.
Roll frame rate.
Who's next?
Frame rate is 2 words.
Damn it.
No. That's a style thing. Like word tries to break frame rate into 2 words, but frame rate.
So
can-
does Slack.
yeah, it's video game jargon, 1 word.
So hyphenate it.
Sweet. Frame rate, baby.
Okay,
Who's
so
next?
Will
Damian
frame
is
rate.
next.
Okay.
will frame rate affect
Who's next?
Kyle is next. Will frame rate affect Ian?
Game.
Brandon?
At
Blood?
EA.
There it is.
Brad?
Conference.
Will frame rate affect a game at EA conference?
That's actually a very good bet.
Yes.
Yeah.
There we go. Kyle, I didn't mean to upset you so much, man.
He's a
Not
diva,
everyone.
man.
Diva.
That's what happens.
You got to check the diva scale every time you're going to
Yeah.
respond to somebody.
I can't remember a single betting special we did true or false bets.
I made a
Yeah,
mistake, man.
We had true or false.
We've for sure done true or false.
I swear we do.
The sick
Yeah.
thing is, I'm with Kyle on this, unfortunately, but it's just not. It's not that important.
I feel like the first or second one had true or false.
Oh, you mean like back in the day, back at GT?
Way long ago. I
Yeah,
feel
we
like-
might have for sure.
know,
Yeah.
I know for a fact that I have been in like a lightning true or false. Someone has
Yeah.
said, "A something will something," and I said, "True."
Yeah,
Like that is happening.
totally.
Yeah.
All right. Our next question comes in from Isaiah. He says, "Hello, Alice. I love Nintendo, but I don't agree with them charging full or close to full price for their first-party games long after they have been released. I don't see any other games get this kind of treatment. Thank you for your joy, love, and respect. P.S. Donkey Kong is Nintendo's best IP. Come at me."
Whoa.
Don't at
Come
me.
at you and
Don't
say
have-
no.
don't have.
They keep them priced so high because of the power of their
Yeah,
IPs.
people buy them. That's why.
Yeah.
Yeah, more so than any console ever. Like their first-party games are system sellers,
Mm-hmm.
so it just protects everything.
Pay that premium Nintendo tax, dude.
They take the longest. They eventually most come down with player's choice stuff.
But that's
like
the thing.
that, or
It's like, yeah,
selects,
when
yeah.
they put something on sale, it's it's an event, you know. Like it's not
Like
like
the Disney
Ubisoft.
Vault.
It's like, all right, we got our first 3 months. Let's slash everything and give away a game for free.
Didn't I see both Wii U Donkey Kongs bundled at some point? You like buy
I don't
know
copies
about
of
the
Wii U
original.
and get the
No.
original
Dragon Freeze
Donkey
is a Wii U
Kongs.
one.
Yeah, I don't think returns ever made it to Wii U.
No,
No.
Oh, that
I
was
mean,
just
you can play it on your
No.
Wii with the
Yeah.
disc, but yeah.
I think the most upset I was with the high price, they eventually brought it down, was New Super Mario Brothers 2, because I think that game is pretty mediocre, and it was very expensive for a long time.
Was that the Wii U one?
No, that was the so.
DS.
You remember? Everybody forgets about this one. That's how
I-
forgettable it was.
I had
It was
to
just
review
coins. The whole
Economy.
fucking
Yeah,
game was
it
just
was.
get coins, and it wasn't very good.
I reviewed that game. I remember.
I
They give it,
respect their like vision, I guess, going for that. It just didn't pay off. Like I like the idea of like making coins mean something again.
Mm.
What did you start?
Paid off in Odyssey, dude.
Yeah, just make costumes.
Yeah.
Yeah, honestly, do you think the failure of that game made Odyssey better
No.
with the
Yes.
coins?
Yes, it did.
I think the failure of many Mario games made Odyssey better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The coin airships in Super Mario Bros. 3 also of that.
They're gonna put up Odyssey again.
But yeah, I mean, to the original subject, I've always been more. I've felt like Nintendo's stance has made more sense than the others. Like, a great video game doesn't suddenly become like a terrible video game because a year went by. So it's always been kind of strange to me the way prices get slashed so much because, yeah, I mean, we just had that argument back and forth with Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze. Is like, sure, it's a 4-year-old game. It's still better than a lot of new games you could pick up today. So why would it be priced that much lower?
I have a question.
Oh.
Do Nintendo games have the GTA 5 effect where they just keep selling for like
Yeah,
years and years and years? Because like if GTA 5 was still full price, would it be selling as much? Or like I wonder what the
I think
logic
it
behind
would.
that is.
How much is GTA 5 today?
I think it's 30 maybe.
I'm looking it up.
I feel like movie, I guess
I think it's heavily discounted on Steam.
maybe consumers are so used to other mediums doing like they slash prices. Like your argument, Budworth, about a good game still a good game. Well, movies are still good movies, but like Amazon will like slash prices on movies over time. They get cheaper and cheaper to the point that they're really cheap, way cheaper than the original release price. But Nintendo doesn't like do it that rate of speed that I think movies do in general. But at the same time, like the argument about Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze being full price, every time a movie company puts out the Blu-ray version, the special edition version, oh, here's the 4K Ultra HD version, even making it even more expensive because you're paying for HD visuals and stuff. It's not unheard of. I mean, you can disagree with it, but it's kind of what the industry does. It wasn't like I see people accusing Nintendo of like invented that. It's like, no, this has been going on for like forever in other industries. They're just they want to make money.
GTA 5 is 40, by the way. 40.
Okay.
Do Nintendo games
Man,
still come
that's
out at
still-
50 or 40? Or are they 60 now?
Some do. Like Bayonetta came out at
Like
a
older ones,
at
yeah.
a lower price.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's all
Kirby was
supply and
60
demand.
though,
Like,
right?
it's all supply and
Sorry?
demand. Like, if they can charge it, people
You
will pay it.
you got both games if you paid 60. I thought, but you could buy them online.
I'm talking about Kirby, because Kirby's 60.
Kirby was 60.
Yeah.
Dang,
I
okay.
paid 60 for Kirby.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one's probably the weirdest one because I feel like in the past couple of years, Nintendo's gotten more flexible on pricing, like pricing things like not just everything being 60, but some games being lower.
Yeah.
And you would
Yeah.
think Kirby would be one of those games. It would be 40 or 50.
Kirby's budget was way less than Knack 2's budget.
Sure. Yeah.
Knack 2, $40, right?
Yep.
All right. Our next one comes in from Angelo. He says, "Hello, allies. I have a very broad question, and as such, broad answers are fine. What do you think game developers and the industry as a whole isn't doing or exploring that they should be? Examples such as themes, nonlinear storytelling, commercial models, transparency during the development process, etc."
Cool question.
Very cool question.
What developers aren't doing that they should be?
Exploring.
Exploring, yeah. What things are we
Oh.
not getting enough of?
Oh, like in content.
Yeah, I'm still
Oh,
bummed that, like, you know, like I don't necessarily want Milo, but I'm bummed that that totally went away. That we get Milo and Summer Lesson, and those are like the only games where we can just talk to a character. Where it's
What
like
the hell is Milo?
Milo's
Who's
the
that?
Molyneux thing where you like
Yeah.
he's like, see, Milo throws something to you, and everyone reaches their hands out to catch the thing.
Brendan, we didn't even get
Everyone
that.
does that.
Yeah,
Yeah, I know. Like, and I think it'd be interesting for a Naughty Dog or somebody like a like the Arkham VR game, like kind of got there a little bit where like you're in VR or you're playing a first person game and it's just you in a room. All you're doing is having a conversation with one person. The mobile game that won Best Mobile 2 years ago, that was like the crime game where you're going through the tapes of this woman, like
Her story?
her story. Yeah.
Yeah.
Computer
That,
game
but it's
first, but
recorded,
yeah.
so it's like it wasn't, you're not actually interacting with that person. You're just going through files.
Dude, C-Man, back on Dreamcast, you're doing that.
It's kind of yeah. Just
Huber, I don't
think-
know. Go ahead. Sorry.
Sorry, you started first. I was just gonna say that I think we're likely to see that kind of stuff with like Alexa and Google Assistant.
it's creepy.
Huber, I've always been really puzzled that they don't do more stuff like the structure of Resident Evil 2, which I think is phenomenal, where you have multiple characters that you can play as, and depending on the order that you pick them, you get a different story as a result. Like,
Totally.
I always thought that was really, really, really cool and not overly complex, and I'm
Totally.
shocked that we do not see more of it, even in Resident Evil.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
There's rumors that they're not going to do that for the remake. And I'm
I-
like, what?
That'd be insane. But I
Yeah.
mean, I can also see why it was easier to do back then. I mean, using the pre-rendered backgrounds for like every single like room or whatever, rather than having to make 3D assets. I guess once they hit Resident Evil 4, it would just be a lot more effort, I guess, to create those unique scenarios or not make it feel too samey. I guess I don't know.
I mean, you'd reuse them the same way you reuse the other ones.
Yeah, I know. I guess maybe it worked so well that time, but if you keep doing it again and again, maybe it would feel tiresome. Like Devil May Cry, was it 2 or whatever? Going like that was a terrible example of going through like
4?
Or maybe it was 4. No, wasn't it 2? You played as the other girl too, and you went through like the village at the beginning, the villa area, and
Okay.
I thought it was like I got so annoyed. I was like, this is not how you do different scenarios and stuff playing through it. I was like, this is bad. So I guess it's harder than it looks.
I wish games did more Kojima stuff, especially horror games.
Totally.
Like, I want a PC game to read my hard drive and start like reading the Word documents that I've typed.
You want that?
Throwing your own language at you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Over there-
Speaking of that, like Eternal Darkness is a perfect example, right? Where
Yeah.
like that meter, that insanity meter, it's such a good idea. And
Doki Doki Literature Club does weird stuff with the file.
it does, yeah.
Apparently,
Cool.
It does, yeah. At the end.
I never played it obviously because it seems crazy, but I saw some game like years ago where like you give the game your phone number and your email address, and it like starts
Yes.
calling you and emailing you and
The
stuff.
Majestic, is that it?
Something like that. It's some like murder mystery game or whatever.
I'm pretty sure it was EA.
I remember it looked really chintzy. I don't know.
Chintzy.
I thought at least one franchise would steal the Nemesis system by this point. I'm surprised nobody jumped on that.
Oh, Warner Brothers one.
Also, this is just spitballing. I've always like the first thing I ever wrote about video games was how so many video games have violence, which you guys know I'm a big fan of. But somehow like making more games where you do nothing. Like, I don't know. There's not enough of that. Where you're just like living life, paying bills.
Oh,
Like the Sims kind of, but more than that. I don't know.
Just Animal Crossing.
But not like weird farming or like building games. Like just a game where you I don't
Talk to
know.
people more.
Like
Yeah, you have a job, you talk to people, like I don't know.
Life is
I don't know.
Strange, kind of.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, like Life is Strange-esque, like more games like that. Where you're just living life.
Huber, have you ever heard of a game called Cart Life?
No.
What I really loved about Cart Life is it was just like it was different stories about people just trying to do everyday life. So you were somebody that was trying to
Dude, cool.
open a restaurant, right?
Yeah.
That
What?
was the challenge. Or you were somebody who was like dealing with like a divorce and like seeing their kid, only at certain periods and the strain on that relationship.
Yo,
And so-
this sounds great.
Yeah, it was. It was really great. It was one of the first games I reviewed, and that was my exact takeaway from it. Is it was like life has some really interesting situations. You hear people say like, "Oh, I play games to get away from stuff," and that's fine. We got plenty of that, but I think there are more situations that we can do in an interactive sense that would be really fun.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'd love to get your take on it.
What system is that on?
It's PC. PC. It's a little indie game on PC. Yeah.
Cart Life. All right.
Yeah.
On my radar.
I don't think we get enough of Majora's Mask style side quests.
Yes.
Like stuff that's like really personal and also like very dependent on time of day and like,
Yes.
finding characters that are only in a spot, like from 3 to 4 a.m. or that kind of, it just for all the games that, talk about having day and night cycles, they don't really use it in all that effective ways.
Red Dead.
Breath of the Wild.
Yeah, didn't Lightning Returns have stuff like that too?
I haven't played any of the 13s.
I think it's weird there's no funny video games. I think it's weird that like we just kind of accept that it's like it's too hard, man.
Okay.
And
South
I'm
Park says hi.
Yeah.
no, it doesn't, dude. It's all just like pooping on toilets. Like the show is funnier than the video game.
For what?
The first Stick of Truth is really funny.
Yeah.
Oh, you're right.
I like the
I'm
parts of
sorry,
Stick
I'm
of
sorry, I
Truth.
didn't play Stick of Truth. I
The
just
newest one is
yeah.
definitely misses the mark a lot with the humor. Yeah.
Big time, yeah. And so like, and I just mean like you're right, Damiani. I don't mean like adding in jokes like Monkey Island. You know what I mean? Like this is funny writing. I mean just like the simple way that a Disney movie can make you laugh. You know what I mean? Like you watch a Pixar movie and just sometimes a visually funny thing just pops up and you're like laughing at how funny that character is. I think anytime a video game tries that, it just sucks. Anytime it's just like a goofy video game character like shrugging his shoulders, you're just mad at it.
There's you could think glitch.
Hmm?
You could think something like that is a mistake, whereas like something that happens in a Pixar movie, it's supposed to be there. Like something weird happens in a game, you're like, what? Your first thought could be like, that guy looks weird. What's wrong?
Yeah, I just mean like a funny character. I don't know of a funny video game character.
I feel like sometimes when they try and tease this stuff, they claim like a writer's coming on board who has this experience. I sometimes may think they don't give their writers enough time or resources to pull it off that they are used to. If they're from like a television show or from like a movie background, like they don't get the same amount of time and like resources. So they just come in and give like the best they can do with it, and it just doesn't work.
But I also super think that video games, I mean, obviously they're a different medium. So like what works and Kyle's maybe what you're kind of saying, like what works,
baby. Yeah.
What works in a film or television might not work the same in a game. Like the best jokes in a game to me, like God of War made me laugh a lot of times. And it was mostly because of just like a little quip that a character made offhand because of something I was doing, you know? Like,
but it's also the character. I would say most of it's character based as well.
Character based, yeah, but like the mechanics of the game factor in. You know, you can't just write a funny script and expect it to land this in the exact same way as a film. You know, about the
Stanley Parable really landed for me.
Yeah,
How many games I thought were like funny throughout, but
and Ben, like you're playing through Earthbound, and that game is super.
Earthbound is hilarious.
Yeah,
oh
and
man,
it does, and I think that's what we're talking about. Like it does such a good job of working within its medium and playing off of expectations, and like times when it like breaks the third wall when you don't expect it to. You know, it's just and just scenarios that like how could you even come up with that kind of thing?
A lot of times, like when you talk about like breaking the wall, it's not like I hate it. I really hate it when video games do the hook. Doesn't this thing suck in video games?
Yeah,
and we all have a laugh at it. Like that, it's just such forced humor that isn't very funny. But like in Earthbound, they just comment on how sometimes like depressing or mundane life is. Like they're not necessarily talking about it in a video game context. They're just like, oh, I'm bored. Like I'm bored being in this town or something. And I think that's a lot more effective. So but Earthbound is really funny, Blood. You're right about that.
Props to VR for doing lots of funny stuff. Accounting and the simulator games. I played Vacation Simulator, and that's funny.
Yeah, you're right. Those games can be funny in their silliness.
And accounting does it an interesting way that you can explore in VR. In that, like there was one thing where you're like in like a monster's throat and you're playing a xylophone of bones, and there's two like skulls that are like, yeah, play the bones, and it's like one of those jokes that's like not funny and then funny again and then really not funny. Stop doing the joke, and then wow, it's surprising, it's funny again. And because it's a puzzle game, you can kind of like control when they stop doing the joke, and so you can kind of set the humor at your own pace. And it's like it's funny when they're like, no, don't touch that thing. It's like, well, I clearly want to touch that thing now, and so now I can control like how often you're going to yell at me to not touch the thing until I finally like break it or like open the door or like connect the things or you don't want me to connect or whatever. So be interesting to see more like TV and movie comedy writers getting into VR and messing with your head.
I'm pretty disappointed I didn't think of this out the gate, but Matthew Migler is totally right. Paper Mario and the 1,000-Year Door is very, very, very funny. Like from beginning to end.
Yeah,
it has a sharpness to it. Like I think as far as like best writing goes in a game, like 1,000-Year Door might be the best writing I've ever seen, just because it is so sharp. And it seems like they took that dialogue and they're like, okay, how can we make this sharper so the jokes really land? And like even though there's not voice acting, you just reading the line, like there were so many times I had like gut laughs from 1,000-Year Door because of how well written it was. So yeah.
How crazy is that, Ben? It's like never again since.
I know. And I had played other Mario RPGs before that.
Yeah.
And none of them in terms of writing even come close to 1,000-Year Door.
It's nutty.
Yeah. But yeah, thank you, Matthew Migler, for bringing that up. Anyone else? We ready to move on?
We'll move on.
All right.
I like. Oh, one thing I was going to say, really short.
Yeah.
I like really, really, really secrets, stuff like that, like Fez did or Souls
Painted
does,
World,
where it's but like not even Painted World level, where it's like, whoa, if you like step back and look at this from above, it's a QR code and like or like whatever, like things that people figure out like years later
Mhm.
I love
Arkham,
stuff like
the
that.
Arkham games had those like, secrets discovered years later. It's so
Yeah.
cool.
Now that
Love
we're
stuff like
a ways out from it, I think it sucks that we're not getting a Fez too. Like whatever drama happened,
Yeah.
okay, fine. But I thought Fez was a great game, and I really
Fez was
want to
great.
see more of those ideas. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's just a bummer.
Was it Annoyed Gamer that made him quit games forever? Was that what happened?
It was
Whatever.
like the straw that broke the camel's back kind of thing.
Right.
That's
Really
a good way
bad,
to say it.
but yeah.
Huh. Eh.
I don't think it was an episode of Annoyed Gamer, was it?
No, it was. He said something on Twitter. I think.
Okay.
I don't remember or care. So.
Our next question comes in from Ulf. I think this is a really cute and creative question. He says, "Hey allies, what are some of your favorite Pokemon names? It could be names that really fit that specific Pokemon, or names you just think are funny. Personally, I really like Pignite."
Garbodor.
Well done. Farfetched Slurpuff.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Drampa is a really good one.
I really like Rog and Roller a lot, and I like Tangela. I think Tangela is a really good name for what that is.
Geodude's a really good name to me, dude.
Geodude is a good name.
One
I
of
think
the best, dude.
the Machop line has really good, like Machop, Machoke are all really good.
Mhm.
Brad, what is that from? Is that
What?
just from Pokemon? Geodude.
Geodude, yeah.
Yeah.
Is that the
That's how he talks. Yeah. Geodude.
Geodude? Okay.
He's just like
Yeah.
Geodude, just Geodude floating around.
So
Dude,
great.
Geodude is a good pick, Brad.
Yeah, dude.
I like Tentacruel.
Yeah.
And also, you got to give it up for both Jigglypuff and Wigglytuff.
Yeah. Give it up.
I think I like Wigglytuff.
But it's like, why stop at Wigglytuff? You know, like to me, that would seem like a chain of 500 new Pokemon, and then they stopped right there.
Well, I mean, it's funny. There's there's a baby form, Jones.
What?
Dugong is good.
Is that
Hey.
good?
Dugong. It's fun to say.
I sort of hate.
Dugong is a real thing, not a Pokemon.
Well, if you spell
So
it
is-
Dewgong, it's a Pokemon.
Oh, I see.
Seal.
Yep.
I think Seal is bad.
That's
Yeah,
it's
was
a bad
there a guy with like Khan something in the 150?
Kangaskhan.
What was his
Kangaskhan.
name?
Kangaskhan.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Licky Tongue is a little on the nose.
Lickitung's evolution is called Licky Licky, one of the worst names.
Licky licky.
Licky Licky.
I like it. Chansey.
I like
To-
Chansey.
There's a new one named Toga Damaru, which I think is funny. They just didn't bother translating it.
Sounds like a Naruto character.
Yeah,
dude.
Toga
Damaru.
Yeah.
From the Leaf Village.
Dude, but Geodude though is just like he's a ground guy. It's like the laziest name of all time.
That's what
The
makes it
way
beautiful.
that Geodude
yeah.
says it makes Geodude such a great name.
all right.
And like, what's cool is like in Japan, like their names are super lazy too. I kind of like that in the 150 they just had that freedom to just be lazy.
Yeah.
They're all icons, you know.
What's that ice cream one?
Vanillux and Vanillish.
Oh Lord.
Kyle, something you've said for a long time that I've recently really come to agree with is baby Pokemon suck.
Oh yeah, they're the worst.
They're
They're all
terrible.
really bad.
They're a pain in the ass to evolve and to deal with.
When did
Yeah.
baby Pokemon?
Yeah, I never heard of this.
Gold and
Ever.
silver, dude. It's like
Yeah.
right after.
Were they in Pearl?
Yeah, they were in gold and silver. They were
Maybe they get
They're not in Sun and Moon, are they? Are they?
Yeah,
I mean-
they're insane.
Yeah, they're not
They're
emphasized. Yeah, but they're there.
They're there.
Must be pretty forgettable then.
They're the worst.
Mewtwo has to be one of the worst names, right?
No.
You too? I mean, that's the laziness that Kyle was talking about, right?
Yeah, exactly, Blood. Like everybody remembers Mewtwo's name,
Right.
but like Lucario is a bad name.
Right.
Where does that name come from? Like,
Mewtwo?
what is- No, Lucario. What?
No idea, dude. I'm not looking
Yeah.
up. Yeah, it sucks.
Yeah.
I hate it. I hate names like that.
Electabuzz is pretty cool. Farfetch'd might be one of the best ones. I really like that one.
How do we feel about
Metagross.
that? How do you feel about Execute and Executor?
Executor is good.
Yeah, I like that. I like that.
I kind of like it too.
Munchlax.
Manchlegs.
I think Blastoise is a pretty good one.
Yeah, I think
Blastoise.
it sounds
Guzzler.
powerful,
Yeah.
which is great.
Who the hell is Guzzlord?
Wait,
Sounds like a
I don't
Mad
know
Max
Guzzlord.
Yeah, Guzzlord is actually really cool. He's an ultra beast.
Guzzlord.
That sounds like an
Yo!
Animal House like frat guy.
Yeah.
Okay,
My friend Guzzlord.
I just
My friend
googled
Guzzlord.
I
You
just
should see him
googled
take down a keg.
I googled Guzzlord. There's just a thumbnail that just says "Holy fuck" next to Guzzlord.
Awesome.
Look at that.
Whoa.
He's
Kyle,
just
why are you
made
even
out of
hold-
like
It's like the Lich
origami
King.
and katanas.
Yeah. Guzzlord's gonna be there.
Whoa.
Guzzlord's gonna be.
Yeah, like most of the Ultra Beasts I actually hate, but I think he's like on the right end of the execution of like, if these are just Pokemon from another dimension, why not go nuts? And that's what Guzzlord is.
Kyle, what is
Guzzlord.
what is Guzzlord's objective?
He just wants to guzz.
Yeah, dude, he likes to consume.
Oh,
He
dude.
super
He
does.
wants
He
to
just,
eat.
he just wants
The,
to guzz.
Where
The,
did Guzzlord
it-
appear?
Sun and Moon.
Ekans and Arbok being Snake and Cobra backwards, like lazy but brilliant, you know?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's like actually good. Yeah.
Yeah, I think Ekans and Arbok is really good.
Ekans is. I love Ekans. It's
Yeah.
so funny to me.
Yo, is Guzzlord the final boss, Kyle?
Nah, you can beat the game without even seeing him.
Nah.
Did you fight Guzzlord?
Captured Guzzlord, dude.
Get Guzzlord.
Yes.
I got a Guzzlord in the box, baby.
So wait, one might
Dude.
say that you are the Guzzlord.
I guzzled Guzzlord, yeah.
You guzzed him.
Hubert, according to Bulbapedia, Guzzlord originates from the Ultra Ruined dimension in Ultra Space, where its population is said to be declining.
Oh my god.
They keep eating each other.
Yo, have you been to
Consuming-
running
have
out
you
of
been to
things to
Ultra Space?
You guys just opened up Pandora's box. Dude, I'm going like I'm
Yeah.
taking a deep dive into Guzzlord lore.
Yeah,
No,
dude.
for real though, Ian, it's way better than regular space. I gotta be honest.
Yeah,
Ultra
it's so
Space?
much more ultra.
Uh,
Regular space sucks.
I'd really love to see like all of the allies as renditions of Pokemon trainers. And you're fighting Blood, and he's got like a bunch of cool bird Pokemon. And you fight Brad, he's got a Snorlax. You fight Huber, one Pokemon, Guzzlord.
Yes. Level 100 Guzzlord.
Yes.
Dude, if the new Pokemon exists and comes out on the Switch, we should do a thing where we all come up with our own trainer as ourselves, dress up, and do a tournament stream where we're all our own Persona trainer.
And we can only use one type. That's a really good idea.
Yeah.
That's
But
really
you don't
fun.
know our types, so you have to like figure it out.
Yeah.
The thing is like if I was a trainer, I don't think I would pick Pokemon to win. That's
We're gym leaders. Oh, yeah. I get what you mean, Ben. You just want a weird team, right?
Yeah.
Hey, that's
I have a
your
very
thing.
specific thing that I would want. Just the cutest Pokemon is what I want.
Real question: do all trainers have monosyllabic names?
No.
Excuse me.
That was a really fun question, though, and I think got a lot out of us. So thank you, Ulf.
Guzzlord. Look at
All
this
right.
He's a Cartana.
Our next one comes in from Ace. He says, now that we have rumors that increasingly lead us to believe that, for one, Mysterio will be the villain in Spider-Man Homecoming 2.
Yeah.
And two, that Jake Gyllenhaal might be the one to play him.
Sure.
I have a question regarding casting of future villains. If it is Mysterio, then it is 100% that this is leading into the Sinister Six.
No.
Mysterio is integral to that. But here is where my question comes in. Who should be the one to play Kraven? Great question. And more importantly, who is good enough to take on Dr. Otto Octavius? If you aren't really into Spider-Man, then go ahead and tell me your dream game, casting in any media. P.S. Congrats, Hubert. Looks like this is the year of true dreams. Respect.
The
Daniel
amazing.
Day-Lewis as Doc Ock. Go ahead, go.
Yeah,
Whoa.
dude. He could take it on. He could
Yeah.
take on the role.
Comes out
Yeah,
entirely
there we go.
Dr.
It's Kraven.
Octopus.
The Amazing Spider-Man really pushed how hard they're going to make the Sinister Six into a movie, and just flopped so hard on their
Yeah.
face with that one. So I mean, like, I would don't assume that they're going to try to do a Sinister Six out of
Well,
this.
yeah, behind the scenes they were doing it, Kyle, and then
Yeah.
Amazing Spider-Man like flopped, so they scrapped it. Like it was in the works.
Yeah, don't do it. That's what I'm
Yeah.
saying. Don't do it. Don't do that to yourself.
I mean, you know they're just gonna eventually do everything. So
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah.
Who would you pick as a good Kraven?
I'm trying to find who's the guy that's playing Deathstroke in the DCU. He was in the Pee Wee Herman Netflix movie.
Joe Magliano.
Joe Magliano.
Oh
or
yeah,
something?
werewolf guy.
Magiano.
That's what I was
Love him.
thinking.
But
He's great.
But he's also in the DCU, but that would be confusing.
Is that werewolf guy?
Joe Manganiello.
He was just in Rampage. He was really cool in it.
Craven.
He's married to Sofia Vergara. Yeah, he's great and seems very nice.
He's a cool dude.
He's got.
He steals that Pee Wee movie. If you haven't seen it on Netflix, he plays himself.
He's in the new Pee Wee movie.
Yes, he is.
And Pee Wee every time he's like, "Hi, Joe Manganiello." It's really good.
So it turns out
that.
Craven the Hunter is Russian.
Sure.
Joe can do it.
Okay, he could do it.
He
All
can
right,
do anything.
I'm on board.
I kind of want to see. I kind of want to see Jeff Bridges play Craven. I would like that.
Nice pick.
Look at
I
those
just envision the
sandy
team.
abs.
Yeah. That guy is chiseled.
I'm gonna say Rusev as Craven the Hunter.
Rusev.
Yeah. So WWE wrestler.
What?
Angelo in chat suggested Christopher Waltz, which I thought was
Christoph Waltz?
yeah.
To be Octopus?
Yeah. I don't know.
Not
He didn't
you,
specify Octopus or Craven, but
He'd be fun.
flexible.
He could do either.
Yeah.
Hit
Do
the gym.
you think a Spider-Man movie could work with like we're creating an original villain?
Yeah. I think so.
That's sort of what I hope. Honestly, what I hope MCU does. Like, this is entirely speculative, so non-spoiler. But like, I really hope that like Spider-Man like becomes Iron Man, so he's like Iron Spider. Like they do just like crazy stuff that's never been done to my knowledge. I mean, I'm sure it has been, but like
Iron Spider exists, but yeah, I get what you mean.
oh really?
Yeah, it's
Really?
cool. Yeah.
And Iron Man as Spider-Man?
No,
Or
no,
Spider-Man
no.
as Iron Man?
It's called Iron Spider when it happens during Civil War. Basically, kind of what happens in the movie. Tony gives Spider-Man a sixth suit that's got like the things that come out the sides.
Right. I guess what I'm
Have you read a lot of Spider-Man?
No. Just
I
a lot
guess
of
what I'm
wikis.
hoping for is that they do crazy stuff that we're not expecting.
Yeah, I agree with you.
And
Like,
yes, I think original villains would be part of that.
Like Game of Thrones when they're past the books.
Right. And they're just like, screw it.
Yeah.
Fast mode. I loved that when people could just teleport effectively. It's like, oh, it took 6 months to get here before, and now I did it there and back in an episode.
All right. Our next one comes in from Trung. He says, seeing Mission Impossible trailer made me dream of a game of it in the Hitman style, but with the option to not kill.
Oh,
Speaking of what Hebrew was saying earlier, and you can play with friends like a team or race each other to reach your goal.
dude.
So my question is, what movie or TV series do you want to turn into a game? What will be the game that is used as a base, and what are some changes that you'd want to have?
Oh, just because he was talking about Mission Impossible, the first one that came to my mind was Get Smart.
Hmm.
Like a Get Smart game that's like good, but also like funny. Oh, that would be so good.
Agents of Shield. You get in different. You get in like. There's all sorts of encounters. There's like encounters with crazies who you have to fight, or like science things that you need to solve and figure out. Like using all the team members' abilities to tackle objectives, I think would be awesome.
I would love for Crows, some of the people who are behind Stanley Parable and accounting and stuff. I would actually love them to do, and maybe team with someone else, like someone really artsy, like the Edith Finch team or whatever, Giant Sparrow or whatever, but do a Legion game where like the game is just like super weird art, like, and half the time you're not even sure what you're doing. I think it would be crazy. With good music.
Maybe it would completely ruin it, but I think there's something to the conceit of Barry and like having to have a dual life like that and having sections where you're poorly acting and having everybody eat it up.
I gotta watch that show.
Barry's a 10.
Yeah.
A survival game, the 100, would be amazing. It's like tailor made for that. That game like kind of already exists, but it would be great.
I kind of want a game based on Spinal Tap.
Oh my god!
You're just like a dumb rock band.
That would be so funny.
So I don't know how the mechanics work, and I think I've talked about this show, The Prophet, where basically this very rich billionaire comes into businesses and tells them how to fix them, but also invests in them. Like, it might be fun to have this game where you're a billionaire who gets to like fix businesses, or then just like tell them that they're going to fail and leave.
And for that reason.
Yeah, and maybe like Shark Tank would be fun too, to be in the role of the billionaire. I don't know if that would be fun.
I think that you could do like a Sims, or not a Sims, but like a Tycoon style game like that for sure. Like,
and you're right. I hate tycoons. I hate tycoon games like that.
But I mean, that's what you're pitching.
No, I think I just want to like come in and boss people. You know what I mean? Like you're in the tycoon games, you're always above. You're looking down. The people are tiny. I want to be down in their face and say, "You are doing a bad job with your business."
See the tears.
Yeah.
They have like incredible mocapped Yakuza style faces,
and they always cry.
Yeah.
Everyone you talk to starts crying.
Yeah.
I want like a David
I want it to be in
Cage,
VR.
a David Cage Silicon Valley game is what I want.
Yes, Brad. Yes.
Dude, American Gods would be a really good game.
I just thought about that. Yeah, I was curious with that. Like a
Or Neverwhere.
Sure. Yeah, Neverwhere would be fun. I would love a Muppet sim where you were actually trying to put on the show. And it was it could be a TV show, but it's on stage, and so there's like backstage and on the stage. And like Piggy wants to do everything. You have to basically calculate like when you say no to Piggy and when like and she'll like leave. She'll be like, "That's it, I'm gone," and she'll leave. And you're like, she's coming back, but you don't really know when. And so you kind of got to hold, and there's the Piggy fans.
You have to send her champagne.
That's a really good game, Jones.
Brandon, that is my favorite idea so far. That is really smart.
Because it's fun to watch the show. Like you can watch the show, but if you're not managing what's going backstage, you can hear stuff breaking and stuff.
Yeah,
and like Gonzo's just breaking stuff, and like
you
and
get like a noises off.
Fozzie's just terrible. Like he's bad every time. You put Fozzie on stage, everyone hates him. No one finds him funny, but you love Fozzie and you want him around, and he helps with other stuff. So you're like, okay, Fozzie, you take the second show, but I'll back it up with the good, Professor Honeydew number, so they'll really appreciate it. Because like people leave when Fozzie goes on stage. They're just like, no, we're done.
But Fozzie has like a 3% chance every time he's used to just like destroy, to be amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, you unlock the Waka Waka.
Oh man.
There's an achievement to get Statler and Waldorf enjoying the show, both at the same time. That's like one of the toughest achievements. Is like sometimes you can get one or the other, but to get them both being like, that was a good show. Like,
and like Fozzie's part of it, so you like have to roll the dice.
I think it's upsetting that it isn't a game. Brad, that is really well thought out.
And John's like, a really cool part of the Muppet Show is always like the cameos. Like, oh, this person's talking to Muppets. And like the video game realm, you could actually do some really cool stuff, dude.
Weezer's here?
David Hayter shows up.
Yeah.
Dude, we should pitch this to Jim Henson Company.
Okay.
Legit.
Blood, you got one?
I was just doing my shelf look there. It would be cool to
that shelf.
Expand more on kind of the world of Secret of Nim.
Whoa.
Ooh.
Whoa.
It's a lot of cool character and visual design that you could put to use there. Particularly if you could, nail the look of it, similar to like how Ni no Kuni nails the Ghibli stuff.
Got to play Moss.
Yeah.
It's so cool. It's so neat to just be look around that whole world and get really up close to all the textures. And yeah.
Blood, now that Kyle has brought it to my attention and I see your monitor reflecting off your glasses, I would love for that to be an emote, like Easy A downloaded or something.
He's pushing it up, dude.
Info scrolling by.
Yeah, that's cool.
We'd have to make it green and like one of those classic anime shots.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, real quick, a children's sports comedy video game where you start off with like a team that's really bad and you lose the bad kids.
Oh, nice.
I think it'd actually work really well because of game's progression is you gaining skills and
Like
stuff
a
like that.
Sandlot kind of a thing.
Yeah.
And you have to hand out participation trophies?
Yeah.
It'd be fun if there were multiple sports. So it's like the same groups of kids playing against each other, but it's just like, all right, now we're playing football.
So it's like Little Giants is the same as the Mighty Ducks, and same
but
team.
like some are better at different sports, and like
When
hockey increases some skills in baseball. Like when you go back to it.
When I was a kid, I dreamt of a game like that where it was like a group of people and they would go play like badminton or soccer or whatever, like all backyard versions and like kind of NBA Jam-ish.
I'm really surprised that was your dream, Ian. That's so weird.
I mean, I liked NBA Jam a lot as a kid.
Cool. Let's play.
I know they're like family pictures of me in like a Charles Barkley jersey.
Whoa.
Oh yeah, we had way more diverse interests growing up than we do
I
now.
think I was trying to fit in. I don't know.
Okay, it's cool.
Totally
Alright.
played basketball.
Next one comes in from Hudson. He says, "Hey, allies, getting this under the wire. I hope you're in, man.
You got it in.
You're in one.
What is your opinion of E3 shows revealing a game that isn't going to release for years or more? Looking at going on 3 years now, Spider-Man at E3, and the past two God of Wars. It leaves a lot of me wishing they would just reveal new games in the way that they did with Monster Hunter World. Reveal hype is great, but part of it falls flat for me when a third conference rolls around and I'm seeing the same game I saw years ago, still not out. It's great to know things are being worked on, but not if I have to smidge it. If I have to see a smidge of it in a slot years on end. Maybe I'm not looking at this the right way, but I don't enjoy a burn that slow."
For me, I think a year and a half is my like limit of on the long end. Like I'm cool with it being announced at one E3, and then I see a lot more of it at the next E3, and then it comes out in the fall or holiday. Like that's the longest I want to go ever. I vastly prefer when I see it at an E3 and it's like coming in 2 months, morons. Woo! You know, I love that. But yeah, I think a year and a half is my limit.
Just under 2 years. Like
Yeah. Like 3 E3s, you're right, is
20 months.
Yeah.
rough.
Is like
yeah.
the longest.
Yeah.
So I think what's funny about the two games in the example is first party and third party. The sad fact is that like Sony uses these game announcements to sell consoles. Like last year's Sony ad, talking 2016 maybe actually. 2017's Christmas ad had Spider-Man in it. Like if you buy a PS4, you're gonna be able to play Spider-Man, and like they sell those so hard. And so I mean, like that's like obviously none of us want it years in a row, but that's like the reason that exists is that they're just selling consoles. Square Enix, I would say, is like hopefully getting better. They're kind of they kind of also announced way too early, right? But I think they're actually getting better about that.
For them, it seems like stuff goes wrong every time.
Yeah, I don't think
feel
they
like
mean
they
it.
announce it and they don't expect it to take as long as it does every time.
Exactly, Brad. I think
coming out next holiday season, and then 6 years go by.
Yeah. Whereas I think Sony knows a little better, but they want to sell consoles.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think it's the bringing it back over and over again is probably the biggest problem. Like, if we had seen Days Gone 1 year and then it didn't show up last year, and they're like, it's cooking, it's okay, and then it came back, you know, like it's just weird to like, okay, we're gonna see stuff every year and not really get any further with, you know, what that, you know, like it doesn't feel like that game has progressed. Like, you know, behind the scenes it must have, but I feel like I'm looking at the same game, or that the game is actually kind of getting worse. It's strange.
But Days Gone isn't going to be at E3, right?
Really?
No, it'll be there.
Yeah, I thought that was.
I mean,
one
that
of
was the
big
E3
things
demo
they
they
were-
played, yeah.
Oh, okay. So I'm sorry. I thought it was they're focusing on Spider-Man, Death Stranding, Last of Us 2, and
Days Gone.
Tsushima. Yeah,
okay.
Tsushima.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think it's not going to be a main focus of their press conference, and I think that's why we saw so much this month.
Smart.
So yeah, but I do think they're trying to pump the brakes on that.
That sounds about right.
Yeah.
Yo, that goes to Tsushima.
Oh yeah, baby. Let's go.
Damiani, what do you think? Do you think that companies
2E3 rule.
Two
You
E3?
get 2E3s, that's it.
I love it.
Yeah.
I agree.
hard
I
and
agree.
fast? I like it from Damiani.
That 33. We should make a badge for your 33. Like,
Oh,
33.
brutal.
Just all of us making that face. Like,
And a fourth
you better
E3.
bring
We need a badge for fourth E3.
Yeah. How many is Crackdown
it
now?
all.
Yeah.
How many is Crackdown?
Crackdown.
Gotta be
Actually,
at least
don't
one,
know.
right?
It'll be Crackdown's 4th E3, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's
my
right.
Crazy.
Look, it'll release itself when it's ready.
Our next one comes in from Rob Bob. He says, EZA Core starts right now. A mysterious benefactor has brought up the entire EZA community, including the 9 of you, has bought up, not brought up, bought up the entire EZA community, including the 9 of you, and has tasked those who are willing with creating,
Yeah, you've been purchased.
creating
I don't know
a
how that
video
works.
game from the ground up, bringing whatever skills we may have to the table. Artists, developers, story imagineers, and of course, playtesters are welcome. What do you imagine the game looking and feeling like? And what are some choice blurbs from the inevitable Easy A self-review?
Open world.
Oh, it's a total train wreck. That
Yeah.
game's terrible.
It's not coming out for 10 years. That game will not come out.
And we go back to the drawing board like 4 times.
Yeah, too many cooks.
Yeah, we're
And we
definitely
don't
taking more
know-
than 2 threes.
Yeah, and we don't know how to market it or sell it or make money from it.
But people like it.
But people like it.
Yeah.
Like a dedicated base of people just love it.
It's been in early access for several years now.
Yeah. One of these days,
You can play it. Like I beat it already, but it hasn't come out yet.
Huber refuses to play it.
Yeah, I'm waiting for the full release.
Yeah, and we're like, Huber, you need help. He just keeps trying to add mechanics, but he won't play it.
Huber won't work on it at all, even though we've assigned him stuff to do because he doesn't want to spoil the game he himself is developing.
Yep. Gotta play the finished product.
He's in charge of like side quests.
Anytime someone tries to talk about development process, he just screams, "Don't look at me," and runs out of the room.
The protagonist is a tall hog who does not speak.
Upright, 2 legs?
Yes, a tall hog.
A humanoid hog
Yes.
who carries how many axes? More than 2.
The hog has a giant jewel-encrusted belt buckle that says Diva.
Oh.
Man, she's pretty cool. I like her. I like our tall hog.
That's actually true. Like there have been a few hogs in games, right? We've got Paige, and we've got the guy in Mutant coming up. Like, but has there been any female hog characters?
Surely.
Japanese is the only language, no subtitles.
Right.
The menus
None
are in
of us
English.
are sure what they're saying.
The menus are in English. You can change the language of the menus, but the spoken dialogue is only Japanese, no subtitles.
And you're missing a lot. You're absolutely missing a lot.
There is an
There will be a quiz.
There's an anime prequel show that sets up the story.
But it's only in German.
And it's only 6 episodes.
And it's on
but it'll
YouTube
get you caught up.
They're only
It's
5
on
minutes.
YouTube Red.
YouTube Red.
I'm looking at Wikipedia list of fictional pigs.
That's
see
a
if there are any.
Wikipedia category?
Yeah, it's
All right.
pretty robust.
Okay.
Fenrir, the boar of summer.
I don't know if we answered the second part of the question. What would be some choice blurbs from the review?
Oh,
More too ambitious for its own good.
An anime fan's dream.
playable.
Feels like a
Creators
missed
intent.
opportunity.
Yeah. If we get a box quote from Hugh Jackman at all, where we've got
Get out
Who
of
the hell are,
get
who the hell
out
are
of my
Easy
house.
Allies?
Get off my lawn, Hugh Jackman.
Pushes the genre forward.
Stop calling me Hugh Jackman's agent.
yeah.
Skyrim with guns.
Gotta have a dazzling somewhere on there.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Dazzling is like in the title of the
Yeah.
game, Ben.
I see it as like undesirable yet dazzling.
The Dazzling Diva Hog. Dazzling Diva Hog.
Yo, I don't know if there are any female pigs in games.
Miss
Not
Piggy.
yet.
Miss Piggy, but yeah.
Well, not in video games though.
She doesn't have a
She's in
game.
video games. She's got plenty
She's
of
playing
games.
video games, yeah.
There's a Muppet like kart racer. I should get that.
Oh, okay.
Really?
Yeah, Muppets Back to the Bayou doing Super Nintendo. So good.
Back to the Bayou?
Yeah.
Whoa.
real?
I didn't know
Is
they
that-
were in the
It's
bayou
not
to
real.
begin
Is
with.
that
not
Kermit
real.
going home basically? Oh,
It's not real.
I was
But it
like,
could be real.
Uh,
Yeah, we're going to Back to the Bayou,
that's
everyone.
what we're making now. We're making.
Yeah. That's the sequel. After you
The Dazzling
fail.
Diva goes back to the bayou.
Hey, that's really good actually.
Mm.
Print it. An Easy Allies production. What's next, Ben?
What's next is a question specifically for Kyle. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay.
I'm also ready.
I'm not ready.
All right. This is a question for Kyle, answered by Ian. This is from Liz. My heart broke a little when Kyle said he hadn't played Detective Pikachu. It's one of the few games I've finished this year, and it was a delight to play. What will it take, oh Bosman of my heart, to convince you to give it a try?
Come on, Kyle.
Not too much. I'll just have to. I'll have to go buy a hard copy, so it's going to take a trip to GameStop. Because of my 3DS is out of space.
Oh,
And
then the email I was about to send you is no good.
So
that
not
box peak being done.
Oh, you're right, Ian. You're right. I couldn't even use a code.
Can't you just delete a game?
Nah, dude, I'm not deleting Pokemon.
You have like 12 of them. Just
How many
delete one of
games
them.
are on your hard drive?
It's just one. The 3DS did not have a lot of space. So if you download a Pokemon game digitally, you're host.
Got it.
Just slap a SD card in there.
I could
wait.
just slap an
Yeah.
SD card in there.
Wait, you can?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what was kind of funny for me is like after GT closed down and I was like going to GDC.
Closed down?
I was going to GDC and it was like I should download some on my 3DS, but I don't have enough space. And I did the same thing with Kyle. Like I don't know if I want to delete anything. And I realized that that like I had like an SD card from GT that like I didn't have a purpose for anymore. I was like, just put it in my 3DS.
Okay. Yeah, I'll just Amazon an SD card, I guess.
Thanks, GT.
Thanks.
You want that code then, bossy baby?
Yeah. Well, it depends on what is more expensive, an SD card or Pikachu's.
Probably an SD card. Maybe not anymore though.
Yeah, I'll check it out.
Let me know.
Okay.
All right. Looks like good things are coming. Next question is for Brian. He says, hello, allies. I was elated to find The Witness on sale in the PlayStation Store this month, but it isn't clicking for me, regardless of how badly I want it to. As an RPG fan, I think I require a bit more narrative structure in my games. Aesthetically, the game is amazing, but I was really hoping that it would seek to use puzzles to tell the story rather than just presenting a series of roadblocks with no hint of a payoff. Even though it doesn't seem to have worked out, I'm at peace with the purchase because I like the idea of creative people being able to continue practicing their art. I can only hope that by keeping Jonathan Blow working and supplied with soft tacos, that he might make something more up my alley on the next project. I'm curious what games all of you may have run into similar problems with in the past. What games did you very much want to love but found yourselves unable to connect with? Thanks for reading and keep doing what you guys do.
So the question is like, what games did we try playing and completely misunderstand the point of?
Oh, come on, Kyle.
I just want to say it's not fair to say the puzzles are meaningless and that they don't add to the narrative because it is the entire game.
Well, you've played the entire game and he hasn't, so he's just getting into it now, and he's like, "I'm not feeling that it's going to." You know?
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
Getting the sense.
Here's
Well,
the deal
that
with
was
The
the
Witness,
question.
though.
Yeah.
Like, if you're not on board already, you're probably not on board.
I would.
Like,
Yeah, I would say
it's-
that. Yeah.
It's a philosophical primer more than a straight narrative. Like, bail if you don't like it. It's fine.
I would say it's more than Gates, though. I would say that.
Yeah.
I
It's an
will,
open world puzzle
I'm
game.
gonna leave now so I don't get things thrown at me. Near Automata. Tried real hard. Got like 6 or 7 hours in, and by no fault of the game, I always talk about like moods and timing of when you play a game and kind of where you play it and what's going on in your life at the time. And when I went to play it, I just wasn't feeling it at that moment.
Same, dude. Same. I did my first playthrough, got to the credits, and I was like, yeah, I'm good.
Yeah,
I beat every ending, and I wish I hadn't spent the time.
Harsh.
I still like it.
Yeah, me too.
I think for me was Fallout 4.
Sure.
Like I was really looking forward to that game. I absorbed every single step, like every acre of Fallout 3, did all of those DLC, and I was like really eager for Fallout 4. And then I jumped in and like the same songs are on the radio. Like this is weird to me. And it was like I still enjoyed it to a degree, but I couldn't get obsessed with it in the same way, and I ended up not like completing it.
Stardew Valley still for me. Breaks my heart.
Sure.
Which one?
Stardew Valley, but I've talked about that a bunch of times.
Stardew Valley for me was just too stressful to enjoy. I was like, I can feel my life going away as I play this.
Brutal Legend was a game I was convinced I was going to love and really did not.
Well, when it just turns into a different game at a certain point.
It wasn't just that. I think so much of it didn't work for me. I didn't end up liking the story. I was so disappointed.
Undertale for me is like a game that I played, didn't get into, but like still love and still want to, like Toby Fox, I think is a genius and like really want to support that like any works he creates going forward, So absolutely that kind of thing.
For me, I mean, Nier Automata was a good one. Like I like Nier Automata, but I don't love it. I don't think it's like genius. But the one for me that was painful for me because I love all of their games so much was The Last Guardian.
Mhm.
Like I wanted to love that game so much, and it just made me so annoyed, and I didn't have fun with a second of it. And like it like hurts me. It like hurts me that I didn't like it.
Not even tossing the barrels in to Trico's mouth?
Pretty much nothing. I don't know.
Hmm.
It was just like the biggest miss for me.
I'm gonna have to play that game one of these days and decide for myself.
Well, it's our game of the year for the first.
Yeah.
It's trash.
I remember Dragon Age Inquisition.
Oh,
That did not click with me. I really liked the first one. Second one was okay. Then I got to Inquisition. I was like, I think I'm good. I'm out.
I feel like that about Dragon Age in general.
Yeah, I think it's just
Something
Man,
about
I
it.
love Origins a lot.
Yeah, Origins was great.
I'm surprised. Like, it's not that I hate it. I don't think I hate it, but I'm not as into Ni no Kuni 2 as I thought I was going to be.
Sure.
So far, it's been kind of a struggle for me to get through.
Yeah, I thought I'd love that game a lot more than what I played.
yeah, Inquisition, Brad, was so funny because like at probably like where the story was like they thought like, oh, this is where it's gonna get good. Like I just like hard stopped. There was like a whole army outside the gates of my thing, and I was just like, meh. It's just like I don't care.
Yeah.
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 All right, Damiani, I want to hear from.
Two come to mind. That one, because I had a lot of praise, and I thought, based on everything, I'd like it, and I tried streaming it. I quit during the stream. Owlboy. I just got I got incredibly bored with it. I was like, I'm sorry, chat. Like, I don't want to keep playing this. This is not clicking for me. I'm not having fun playing this, so I would rather play something else now.
What did you play instead?
I don't even
Mario
remember.
3.
Man.
No, I didn't play another. I think I just went something else on Steam because I already had Steam open.
Sure.
This one's still in the process though. I think this is gonna be more shocking than your Nier. I don't feel any more desire to go back to God of War.
Whoa!
I'm just. I thought it was just like I'm busy. Oh, I just want to do it. It's just I really don't want to go finish it. Like no, I don't. No, I don't need to. I don't want to.
How many hours did you get?
Yeah, I want to hear
Same
later.
spot we talked about last time. Like I did not go back to it since then.
Got it.
Too cool.
Man.
Too cool.
Dang.
That's intense.
Dang.
Game of the Year discussion is going to be real interesting this year.
Pokemon.
Your Owlboy made me think of
Please.
another. Your Owlboy thing made me think of another one, just in terms of like getting bored. And it's been years since I played it, but I was bored by Golden Sun, and
Oh yeah.
Oh,
I hear that a lot. Yeah,
yeah,
I don't even remember what that is.
I feel bad.
GBA.
There's a GBA game that like it looked like a PlayStation style RPG with the battle system and stuff. So it was like very impressive
looked
visually.
so
You know.
cool, yeah.
Yeah.
And the summons were fun. I loved leveling up my summons.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I definitely see why. I enjoyed the two GBA ones. The DS.
They don't let you skip text in that, right? That's one of the problems.
The DS one's really rough too. Like the DS one, I thought was gonna be, we're gonna get a resolution, all of this, and I think enough time had gone by where that formula I started to see that this is what people are complaining about. I can't do it a third time.
Damiani.
All right. Next one is from A Pack of Puppies. There's no shortage of E3 dreams. What is your E3 nightmare? What's one thing you do not want to hear announced? One thing that would make you think there are so many things that could be done, and they just put their resources into that.
Shenmue 3 getting canceled.
Oh, good one. Yeah.
No more Zelda games.
But not
Wii
not
Music
like a
2.
non-thing, like a A new thing.
If there's an announcement of we're making a new Silent Hill and it's a game as a service, like that's gross.
It could be cool. It could
Battle
be.
Royale.
It's a pachinko machine.
I think Sony could announce the PlayStation 4 Plus, and you would hear groans.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I think nobody would want to hear that.
Right.
Wow. Yeah.
Honestly, like any new Microsoft new IP.
Oh, Jones, that's a nightmare.
Wow.
Wow.
Wow, dude.
He's a
Think
nightmare.
about it, the Microsoft press conference, them being like, "Look at this cool title" with the CG trailer. I'd be like, yeah, "That's not happening." You know, it's like they've done that like 5 times in the last 5 years, and those titles just never happened. Like,
But if there's gameplay, I'm in.
Dust
If there's
gone.
gameplay, I'm in, Jones.
Scalebound had tons of gameplay gone. You know, like that's rough. If Microsoft's like, "No,
They need new IP, but yeah, they need to commit to something for sure.
we had a phone call with this developer, and he gave us a logo. This game is totally happening." Like, oof. I would be so skeptical of that. Not a nightmare though. I don't know. It's just like, ugh.
If EA does a Dev Diary style thing for a game that, that'd be bad.
Yeah.
Grief. Have we ever seen that Star Wars game?
That Respawn docu trailer. Get ready for it.
Yeah.
I like this from chat just because it is so horrifying. Mr. V says a Match 3 Chrono sequel.
I'd play it.
I mean,
Yeah, try it.
really,
Square Enix is the best. Is like probably the best bet on announcing things that you don't want.
You think so?
For me, it's Nintendo. Like Nintendo has, like EA can't hurt me. You know what I mean? I'm not
Right.
invested. Nintendo, I'm so invested in it. It has the greatest chance to break my heart. Just like you can just tell when things are wrong immediately. You can tell when they're not the things that you want them to be. And like Nintendo has the greatest chance of like presenting those things.
What was the Metroid? The game.
Other M.
Federation Force.
Federation
Or
Force.
Other M.
There are
There's
multiple.
Other M seemed like it was going to be really cool.
Yeah,
I
it
was
did.
just-
Yeah,
At
that's the
first it
thing.
seemed
Federation
good, yeah.
Force. Everyone was
I
like,
was
"What?"
very excited.
Yeah, I was excited about Other M too.
To me, for us as like a job though, like I think just like lackluster across the board is the nightmare. Where like every announcement is just like, okay, all right, like no moments.
Yeah.
Like especially if you see a couch on stage at like Sony or Microsoft, it's
Right.
just like, oh boy.
Yeah,
How
like
did
if
they
Sony
prepared
doesn't
for-
announce games, right? This is like, oh crap.
What?
The fact that Sony said they're doing those 4 games specifically, I feel like couches are coming.
I'm
for those
nervous.
4
I'm
games.
nervous. Like
No
I'm nervous
couches
that
to me.
they didn't like learn their lesson from PSX.
Mm-hmm.
I
It's
want
also
that to be
like-
I want it to be a shirt. EA can't hurt me. I just yeah.
I can't get any lower.
Yeah,
Well,
really. I don't think they can hurt us this year. It's so funny.
The thing with Sony that's so weird is like they like rewrote the playbook on how to do an amazing press conference and then like followed it up with like a couple of lackluster press conferences. So it's kind of weird. Like nothing's a sure thing at E3.
Yeah.
All right, can we handle 3 more questions?
Yeah, let's do
Yeah.
3 more.
Yeah.
All right. Santiago says, "Hello, allies. I'm very excited to say this is my first live Q&A with all of you." Well, welcome, Santiago. I finally have a chance to ask a question, so here it goes. With the recent announcement of Solera Vestora Amiibo being released along the Switch version of Dark Souls Remastered, it looks like the sky's the limit when it comes to which properties may one day have an Amiibo. My question is, which game, any generation, any platform would you want released on the Switch just to be able to own an Amiibo from that series?
Oh yeah.
Chrono Trigger.
Yes.
Metal Gear, so I can get a Metal Gear amiibo. Like
Rex?
Rex or something. Oh yeah.
Nice, dude.
Resident Evil 3 Nemesis.
Yeah.
I really want a slime amiibo. Super bad.
Oh, slime.
yeah.
Hackzilla.
Dude,
That's
Hackzilla.
super
And Dragon Quest, good pick.
Dude, putting
And, like,
Hackzilla
why
in
not?
Smash. Hackzilla versus Bowser. Let's go.
Axilla.
Wow.
Dragon's Dogma, and you get the dragon, and it's like
It's just
huge.
huge, yeah.
No,
It's like,
you
it's
just
like massive.
You just get some shitty
Right.
pawn, and that's
Yeah,
the only Dragon's Dogma amiibo.
Yeah, the most
No.
basic thing.
You have to special order your own pawn, and they print it for you, and it costs like $400.
I've
And
got,
Dragon's
I've,
Dogma doesn't even come to the Switch.
Yeah. It's just an amiibo. It does nothing.
I've got the nightmare scenario. Rayman. You can't really make an amiibo.
It's got little plastic poles. You
he's
mean?
got
Yeah,
little
the
plastic
stupid
poles.
clear poles. Yeah.
Yeah.
like that thing going up Luigi's butt, but like everywhere.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I kind of want a Guzzlord amiibo.
I have a weird question.
Guzzlord.
So all of the Smash amiibo, sorry, I know we had 3 questions, but all of the Smash amiibo were based off of their renders, right? And that's why they have plastic poles, and they stopped doing plastic poles since. Do you think they will accommodate for that with the new Smash renders? Will they be renders of amiibos, basically?
I think so.
Yeah.
That'd be funny.
I know. I think
They'll
they
all be
actually will
standing there like this.
yeah, with both feet planted.
Yeah.
Nobody's in the air. Yeah.
Yeah.
I just want them to make a clear pole amiibo. That's what I want.
I like
Yes.
that. Cool.
The Guzzlord amiibo though, they like have warnings all over the box where it's like, do not place on your console, because if you do, it guzzles everything and just like erases all the data from your Switch.
I want them to
It's got
do.
And it has a speaker on it, and he just goes, "Gotta guzz," and then he just guzzles everything.
I want them to do.
I don't know anything
like,
about Guzzlord.
like kind of like a Wonder Ball
But I
mystery amiibo box where you don't know what you're gonna get, and there are these YouTube videos of these kids like opening them up, and they get a Guzzlord, and they just go, "Mom, what is this? What did I get?
He's just like, "Ah, shit."
Ah, shit." Those are really good answers, everybody.
Starts eating his hand.
Santiago, no, we just did Santiago. Losing my mind. Neuromod says, "Hey, allies, which one of you makes the biggest mess at the garage?" What a great question.
Brandon knows the answer to that.
Yeah.
It's tough. The person who makes the biggest mess while they're here is Ian, because he throws objects all over the place. But the hands down, the person who leaves the largest swath of damage in their wake is Huber. Whether he's like knocking stuff over,
There's no way, Jones.
cracking open a Coke, taking
There's
a sip,
a
putting that
0%
Coke on the.
There's no
Yanni
way.
might be a close.
There is legit no way, Jones. I throw away my trash. Sometimes I'll leave gifts that I get because I put them in a pile and I forget the pile.
Seems intentional. Seems
Do I leave?
intentional.
I don't leave food around, dude. There's
You just
no
said you're
way.
cracking cans, dude, and
There's
leaving them
no
out.
way. I'm gonna fight
Ben
that
leaves
one.
a lot of cans.
I'm totally
Ben-
fighting that. That is trash, dude.
But Damiani did put the salad on the PC, so
That's
It's
that's
good.
pretty
What?
brutal.
I throw away my
Salad.
cans. I reject this.
It was
I have like OCD when it
plastic
comes
container,
to
too.
neatness and tidiness. Like, there's no way. Like, if a can
I
is
trust
large,
Jones'
it freaks
opinion.
me out.
In my defense, a lot of you put crap all over the PC desk when I'm not there, and then I come back and there's like drinks and stuff that aren't mine. I'm like, thanks everyone for
Not me.
Oh, so that's your desk. That desk belongs to you.
It's like hi, okay, cool. Thanks everyone.
Maybe Damiani's second.
I have to
now.
throw away a lot of people's drinks that are over there, or like put them away.
You will see the desk largely changed when next you
Yeah.
arrive.
Whoa.
Spoilers.
I love that question struck a nerve.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
Well, it's pissed.
Ben, what I mean is like you and I will drink so many Sampellis and then they'll get moved and then neither of us knows which one it is.
Yes, we do confuse our Sampellis a lot.
Those get left. Yeah,
That happens
that's
a
what
lot.
I was talking about.
Last question is from Logan. Greetings, allies. Longtime watcher, recently new patron. I've enjoyed watching
you.
all of you over the past few years. I love the passion you all have and the positivity you spread through love and respect. With that being said, I'm here to switch things up a little bit of D&D dislike and disgust. So we're gonna have we're in it on a
Oh,
negative.
dislike and disgust.
Yes. We all have that game or franchise that really gets under our skin, sometimes for the smallest of reasons. If it's in your heart to be a little naughty today, will you please tell us what game or franchise makes you a little upset or disappointed? I feel like we've gotten
We've been very naughty today.
Like, we
yeah, I
we
feel like
know.
we've gotten this question the last couple of
like we know Borderlands. We know.
Yeah. Yeah.
for
Obviously.
example, mine would be Crash
Obviously.
Yeah.
Let's hear the question out real quick.
Censor on Borderlands. That's so funny.
If it's in your heart to be a little naughty today, will you please tell us which game or franchise just makes you a little upset or disappointed? For example, mine would be Crash Bandicoot, overrated and looks dumb. Hashtag purple drum.
Oh, that's
Wow.
D&D right there. Wow.
If Kyle is present, A Link to the Past is not accepted. Really
What?
Whoa.
laying things
now.
down. That I did not add that. That's part of the question.
All right.
Come on now.
To me, the stuff that gets to me is like when, like, agnostic of the game itself, when the fan base is so crazed for a game that it kind of puts a bad taste in my mouth. Nier Automata comes to mind, where it's like, yeah, the game is fine, but like I'm tired of being screamed at about it.
Like as somebody who likes Nier Automata, fan base is screaming at you is the worst. It sucks.
Yeah.
Like anything you say about it, they just crucify you for having an opinion.
You cannot win. That's what I mean. Is like you just can't win, and it makes it not fun anymore. Like games are fun. Even if you don't like a game, like it's still about fun.
Like I really enjoy Undertale a lot, and have it can be really painful talking about Undertale because people just get. I think it's calmed down a lot, so it's not the case anymore. But there was a time where it just felt overly rabid, for sure.
So I'll go on the PlayStation Store and watch the trailers of the games that have come out that week. Sometimes there's like a really cool looking RPG. If the combat is based off of using cards, I press the circle button. Press the circle button. I'm like, okay,
nice, dude.
I'm out. If you're an RPG and your combat system is based off cards, I can't play. Can't play with you.
That's I really liked the Ludum Dare 41 because it was combined two incompatible genres. I did an episode about it, but like there were a good number of them where it's like card based brick out, and like that just as like a joke is like really funny to me because it's like so incompatible. That one is actually kind of fun, but yeah. Card based as a joke is funny to me. Slay the Spire is good. I like that one. That's cards.
Wouldn't play it.
Anyway.
Man, there are things that really get under my skin that I wouldn't necessarily write off entire games for, but I'm getting more and more frustrated with games that do like super partial voice acting. It drives me insane in Ni no Kuni 2. Like I would either rather have no voice acting or like commit to it a little bit harder. Obviously, a lot of games aren't fully voiced, but when you do it where it's like, and Yakuza does this as well, where you have no voice and then you have a cutscene and then you go back to no voice and then you go to a cutscene with voice, it's just really jarring and it takes me out of the moment and I don't like it.
Doesn't Persona 5 do that?
Yeah, I think Persona 5 does that. I don't think it bothered me as much, but yeah, I think Persona 5 does that.
It is definitely like I was playing a game and someone who doesn't play a lot of video games was watching and that happened and they were like, how come they only talk some of the time? And I had a moment where I was like, yeah, that's like a total video game convention thing that would seem very strange if you're not familiar with the video games for your entire life.
Yeah.
And the sad thing is the answer is budget.
Yeah, it's just like because
it's not a creative choice.
Too many words, like brevity.
I also don't like it when they do the kind of like I'm gonna say one word like cool, and then they have a bunch of text come after that.
Demon Fang.
Yeah, that's
right.
a different thing. But
especially when the word they choose is like not exactly what they're trying to say, or I can't remember what game I was recently playing where it's like that character has like a thing they say where it's like get it, but it's like it has nothing to do with what they're talking about.
Whoa,
it's
dude!
just what their character says. Yeah,
I think it's lame.
Is that my Indian food?
What other thing gets under people's skin, or entire games that get under people's skin?
The Final Fantasy franchise.
What?
Under your skin, Brandon?
I just couldn't believe like playing Final Fantasy 3, which 6 at the time, and being like, "Whoa, that was amazing!" And then playing 2, which was 4, and being like, "Wow, this is really cool! I can't believe I missed this on the Super Nintendo." And then I was like, "I bet 1 was really cool." Playing on the NES, I'm like, "This is great! Boy, I'm gonna love this franchise forever." And like, I've been into like 9 and 11.
Jones, you only like fantasy
and, like,
ones.
12
that's
was
why.
cool. Yeah,
I mean,
like,
that's just the way it is.
But it just seeing like that, like. Yeah, just this franchise being like, just throw anything at me, franchise, and then it just like just darted so fast in another direction. And but yeah, it's not unless like saying it's definitively bad. It just that was something. Just
I hope 16 is just straight fantasy, Jones.
I thought in 2018 I would be more excited for what the next one was going to be, or would have enjoyed more up until this point. But
Western.
That's a taste thing.
16 will be a Western.
Ooh, that'd be sick.
I think that would actually be really sick.
Like Modern Wild Arms? Yeah, I'm in.
Yeah, dude. It'd be sick.
So sick.
I don't know. I feel like 15 had a lot of Western vibe already, but
True.
It did.
True. But future Western.
A little
like
bit. I
fantasy
wouldn't
Western.
say a lot, but
Road trip vibes.
Wagon train.
I need one more. I need one more take before we end off. It's not spicy enough yet. I need
Damiani is
like a
ready to
Damiani-
dump a take.
My
Look at this
brain's
guy.
not connecting to that spice right now.
Damiani dump, I think.
My brain's not connecting to that spice right now.
I'd be in the mood.
Don't like D&D. Don't at me.
Wait, Dungeons and Dragons?
Yeah.
Why?
It's rather play a video game.
Damiani.
Nice.
There you go.
Okay.
Damiani is canceled tabletop. Everybody, thanks.
Really funny. Like Damiani becomes boss, and he's like, "Okay, first."
Right. First, I don't like D&D.
Yeah, it's gone.
Step one.
All right, I think that's going to do it. We ended on dislike and disgust for our May Q&A. Maybe next month we can end on love. Who knows? It's up to you guys. It's in your hands. Thank you guys so much if you're with us here live. There was some good stuff in chat on YouTube in the chat that I tried to pull into the conversation. But yeah, and thank you. It's nice. It's really nice. I think it makes the Q&As more interesting when we have as many people here as we can. So I'm glad that everybody showed up. So yeah, we will see you at the end of next month in June. I will have a post towards the middle of the month saying when you can submit questions, and then a follow-up post where you actually submit the questions. So we'll do it then. All right. Thanks, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.